50?
Yeah, I think Rick Ross turned up with 50s.
You might, Brent.
Ups. Hello?
Yes.
Really?
Yeah, Supreme Son.
Oh, serious.
It's over the clip. Did you guys talk about it yesterday? Oh no, it came out in the evening, wasn't it?
I need to start doing Wooden Road when you're in, you know. I'll do my own research.
Yeah, do your own
and
vibe.
present it and stuff.
Should we talk about that? Should I send you the video then? Have you got the video?
What?
The video that 50 put out that would have made Rick Ross show up at his door.
Oh, no, I'm saying that when you're not here, I should do Wooden Road.
No, I hear that part and I agree to that part. But I'm saying what you were telling about Rick Ross and 50.
Yeah.
Did you see the video? Which made Rick Ross show up at his house?
I'm not sure. What is it?
It's a video of a former Bad Boy employee talking.
Oh, yeah.
It's about when they put things in women's mouths and stuff.
50's little company, G unit, something like that.
Yeah.
something.
And I'd be like, okay, yeah.
Yeah.
All right, people.
At first, I actually thought it was a joke. He was just joking, but
No, he's dead ass.
I think he's gonna talk himself into doing a documentary now.
No, he's on my wedding road again.
Okay.
Because talk about he's serious about this. And the 50 Cent, I'm shy for him. But anyways, good morning, people. Happy Friday. It is the 8th of December. Welcome to TDA, the day after. Your favorite news platform and the home of popular culture as defined by the culture. I was gonna ask Brent, do I sound how I sounded? Do I?
Yeah. Yesterday you had something in your mouth. Today, no, you don't.
Okay. I am one of your lovely, lovely hosts, the one you absolutely love to hate, your favorite shade queen, and always will be my royalty.
And they call me E-Man, the pro-black activist, TDA producer and news analyst, melanin jam-packed.
That is right. How's everybody this lovely morning, this lovely Friday morning?
Can't complain, man.
Complain.
As always. It could always be worse, man.
It could always be worse. It
Yes.
could always be worse. That is a word. I'm tired, man. I do have to shout out the 90s Baby show every damn time. So I was on their live stream episode yesterday. So go and check that out. It was a lot of fun. A lot of gisting and things. So yeah, pick up 90s Baby, man.
Had a good time?
I did have a good time. I have a great time. I'm so proud of them. I was saying to them how, because I remember when they started, I think they started 2016 or something like that. And so seeing them, they've actually created kind of like a niche for themselves in that way, and setting up their own studio and what they do, what they talk about, that kind of stuff. It's proper lit, man. So big up the boys, man.
Trailblazers.
For real, man. So congratulations to them.
It was a great episode, man.
Thank you.
What's the game with the
Oh, the act with the that was truly something.
There's one that you did that was terrible.
It was terrible. It was a LOX. It was one where I had to think of it. It was LOX. So basically the game was he gives us a word and we have to kind of come up with like an acronym for it. Kind of how Young Thug's Lawyer did kind of thing.
Yes. Exactly.
And it was LOX. I said, I can only think of X-ray and xylophone.
Yeah,
There's no other X's I know.
People are trying to obviously be
They're talking about
creative,
X's. Sorry, the boys cheated on that actually. Now that I'm here on my platform, I can talk about this on my chest. They cheated. Temi's doing ecstasy. What's his name? VP is doing excited. I think this is silliness. What are we doing here? You can't. This is not the rule of the game.
I think they just followed Fred's instructions because he did say you can get flagrant with it.
Yeah, see, I didn't know that.
Yeah,
I thought flagrant meant something else.
All right. I don't think he said flagrant.
He said creative or something,
innit?
isn't it?
Creative, yeah. I didn't think we could spell words differently.
To be
That's
fair,
silly.
the Xmas one, that made sense.
Yeah, that made sense. And
yeah.
it is the season.
This
And
is
I
it.
did not think of that. So that was it. So that was terrible. But that was all I could pull out of my
But there was another one that you did that was really good. VP's really good at that, you know.
VP. I actually know what VP does in his spare time. He was really good at that. He was really, really good at that.
There was one that both of you did where I was like, oh, this is very
Oh
close.
yeah, I can't remember what the word is. I'm
it
gonna have to
though.
watch the clip back. But mine was like a prayer.
Yes.
It was,
Yeah.
I'm actually gonna watch it back and make a note of that manifestation shit. Manifest that shit. But no, it was a lot of fun, man. They're really, really good vibes, man. Like proper good vibes, and I'm really proud of them.
Yeah, 100%.
That was a lot of
man.
fun. Yeah.
I saw, I kind of saw some people in the chat from TDA, man.
Okay, big up the TDA lovers,
Big
the
up
TDA
people,
listeners.
the crossover, you know what I mean? It was
I
good.
love that.
It was good, man.
I'll big up the TDA community. Love you guys for that. But yeah, man. Brent, how are you doing?
I'm right.
Yeah?
I'm good. It's Friday.
Good.
Weekend's gonna be packed for me.
Is it?
Yeah.
You can tell me what you're doing after, because I didn't have a clue.
You didn't what?
I didn't know your weekend was packed.
Sorry, do I?
I don't need you.
Wait,
But I just thought...
every Friday, do I tell you what?
No,
I
you do not.
So,
But every Friday, you've never told me you got packed weekend. So now the nosy one in me wants to know what you're doing this weekend.
oh, it's only because you asked, like, how am I doing it? And then when I spoke, it sounded as though I was already in the weekend.
Oh, I hear you.
So I was like,
Weekend mode.
this is probably why it is.
I hear you. To be fair, my weekend is busy as well, to be fair. I'm busy to the end of the year now. I'm just tired, man.
You're not going to tell everybody that you found a cousin?
I did find a cousin. Guys. So the other day when Brent was talking outside of his mouth, he was sounding funny then.
I can't remember what I did.
I remember. And I'll tell you what you did. So basically, I was talking about my granddad's brother who travelled the world on a motorcycle, right? And someone in the chat, Josh Show, isn't it?
Yeah.
Said that, oh, that's my granddad. And I was like, oh, look at that. We might actually be related. Brent's over there talking about, yeah, but anyone can say that. And then even went on to lie and say, well, look, more people are popping up. No one's popping up. Anyway, spoken to him now. Turns out, actually, yeah, we actually are family. Because I asked his mum's name, and he told me. So I said, I'll ask my mum, but I haven't seen my mum in a couple of days. Well, I've seen her, but adulting life, so I haven't had time to stop for a chat. So anyway, I asked her this morning, actually, and I said, oh, do you know, da-da-da-da? And she was like, yeah, like, his daughter. I was like, yeah. And then she goes like, she's met her like years ago. But then she was like, oh, she used to live here. And then she said also, but I think she's moved to Nigeria now. Then I was like, do you know what? I'm going to ask him, like, kind of corroborate that kind of thing. And then she says, oh, actually, she's got a son, da-da-da-da-da. Insert the name. Obviously, I'm not going to say Just Show's name, but it was Just Show. So she said, ask him if that's... But I didn't even clock that was his name. So I was like, okay, I'll ask. Because she was like, oh, I was at his naming ceremony. I said, oh, okay. I don't take those things seriously. So now I went to then message him to say, hi, is your name da-da-da-da? It was right there anyway. It was right. I was like, oh, look at that. So yeah, turns out we are family.
You might end up finding more family, man.
I might actually, because I only really know my mum's. Okay, so I do know my granddad's side of family. To be fair, I do know them. Okay. But it's such a big, it's a big family.
Is it because of this one granddad?
No, Ajala's are just maybe actually. But my granddad was one woman.
Oh, okay, your granddad was
one woman with 7 kids. It's crazy though. 7 kids is wild.
He did well.
But our family is very, very big. And sometimes, obviously, back then, some people were engaging in polygyny and stuff. So, I mean, he definitely engaged in polygyny, my granddad's brother. But, like, it's a massive family. So,
isn't that techie does not throw up some kind of complications when it is that you're lipsing your family member and you don't even know it?
I've already told you. I told you where I stand with that matter.
Ain't even know it. Oh yeah, you did say that you would.
You need to calm down. Whatever you're about to come out your mouth next.
I just remembered. Such reminded.
What did I say?
You'd fancied your cousin before.
I did fancy my cousin. Yeah, I was younger though. I didn't know it was my cousin. Actually, I just told him about. So I fancied him. Lovely man. He's married, wife and kids now. It's beautiful. It's crazy. Anyways. I feel like if it's like a 4th generation type cousin, 5th generation, I'm on the economy is tight. There's walking down the aisle, bruv. I won't say nothing if you don't say nothing. Anyway, I'm only half of it. My mum's side. I mean, I don't claim my sperm donor side, but that's not the point. It's not like all of me is related to this said 7th generation cousin. Don't be clipping things down. Put your notes down. Put your phone back down.
To be fair, certain cultures,
it runs.
they do first and second.
Bro, they do first and exactly.
You know what I mean?
Isaac and them, and what's it called, Rebecca, all them in the Bible and stuff. Them niggas are cousins.
For real.
Talking about go to your uncle and telling you want to marry his daughter. Are you alright? So really, mine is not that bad. Mine is like 7th generation, 6th generation.
Just Show is 7th generation?
No, he's not.
He's immediate.
No, I'm saying not him. I'm saying...
If you want to go...
Yeah. If I met... Because my thing is, if I meet somebody... If I know the family, obviously that's different. That's ill. But if I meet somebody and we've built a life, or we're here together now, and then we come to find out that our great knew each other, it'd be all right, man. The war displaced a lot of people. Slavery and that.
To be fair, why would you after you built a life, you got a family, why would you stop?
Oh, I wasn't even talking about when we're dating. After about 6 months dating, I'm locked in and I'm like, oh, this is who I want to be with. This is where we be at. Sorry, but do you know how difficult it is to find a man in the streets? Especially when you know what you're looking for. It's crazy, man. Anyways, so that's where I stand on that topic.
Is it really that bad? Because obviously I'm reminiscing on when Ramsey was here the other day.
Oh, yeah.
And he was saying how the streets are if I get separated from my missus.
Yeah.
I'm definitely not going to get married again. Or I'm not gonna, because everybody's just wild and wholesome.
Yeah.
That's not accurate, is it?
It's not that everybody isn't, because I'm not. But basically, I think it's not as you don't walk out and just meet a bunch of great candidates, but it depends what you want. Because it depends what you want, essentially. I haven't found what I'm looking for yet, but yet selection.
You're not
to choose
looking.
From. I'm not looking. That was a lie. I'm not looking. But when people come to me, then I look at what they're about.
I mean, you see them.
I peep. I peep a little. And then I'm like, oh, I'm good, love. I carry moving.
In my head, it will be easy for me to find somebody like worthwhile.
Yeah.
If I intentfully go out, put myself on the window, still and say, all right, cool, I'm actually looking. For example, if I go to one of these events like Kickback, shout out.
Big up Kickback.
Pick up the kickback.
Each time I go to one of the events,
yeah,
it's full of beautiful women, like amazing. And I'm not thinking that each of them there's trouble in it. Do you understand? Because they look too wavy. Do you understand? Maybe
big.
I'm naive.
It's like a Kinder egg.
I don't know. But
You open it, you find out.
All of them, the majority of them look like, these could be good people.
But men look like that as well, though. But I feel like with women, I feel like men, I keep telling you don't agree with this, but I feel like men have more of a selection than women do, for one. But also,
there are
though.
more women out there than men, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, but women have to wait for a guy to pick them, whereas guys are the ones that do the pickings.
That's what they want, though.
What's who wants?
That's what the women want.
For a guy to pick them? Oh, not me.
No, the reason I'm saying
Don't
that is
pick my
because,
man.
because in other areas, it's like,
Yeah.
50-50, let's be the same, equality, everything the same. But you don't go out of your way to do exactly what
Do
the
you know what?
man's
You're right
doing in that
there.
area.
Because I keep telling the girls to move to guys and shoot the shot. I am not opposed to shooting my shot. One thing about me, I'm going to shoot my shot. If I like a guy and I'm interested and blah, 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 there's no reason why I have that. There's nothing. Why wouldn't I shoot my shot? All of this strategic placement and all this, I haven't got time for that crap. I haven't got time for that.
So, Fanan, I guess, is implying that they flatter to deceive, right? So
They what?
they flatter to deceive. So it's
They flatter to deceive.
that's how they look like
Who's
they're
they?
cool and calm. The women.
Oh,
I was
women. Oh,
looking at
yeah.
it
Trouble in there.
before, right? Yeah, but
It's crazy.
when you go past that door,
But you know what? I feel like that's the same for both genders, though. Because some guys package so well, yeah. I think, oh, this is a great, this upstanding society, member of society. When I start to get to the person, I think, yikes. But I do think, though, there is something about looking intentionally. But I know girls who are looking intentionally and they're intentionally not finding.
What does intentionally look like, though?
Like,
For
you're
women?
open... So you're any guy that speaks to you, you're willing and open to get to know him. You're actually going when you go to events and stuff, like you're putting yourself out there.
Is putting yourself out there just being there, or is it actually?
It's the first step, man, because I don't leave my house.
Or is it like what's the word that what did the peacocks do?
Oh, the flaunt
Yeah, and the thingies.
and yeah, what is it?
Wait, man.
I just thought you meant they peacock.
Yeah, peacock. I think it's
Is
peacock.
that what they do?
Yeah, it's peacock. It's peacocking.
Okay, pardon me. Yeah.
But I feel like the first step is getting there, but I don't think being there is enough.
Precisely.
So you have to take another step beyond that. But I give them credit for being there because I ain't nowhere. I'm in my house. And as far as I'm concerned, that same house I'm in where Jesus knows his daughter resides is where that man is going to come. But there's many steps to it, basically. But there are women who are intentionally... The girl who wrote the dilemma the other day, she was intentionally looking.
Yeah.
At 37, now she's intentionally going to look in Ghana.
Yeah.
So there are women who are intentionally looking, but I feel like that's the thing with love. Love is so like, it's so random that you don't actually know. You might be intentionally looking for 20 years, and then you just randomly go to the post office and to drop something, and that's how you meet the person. And it's a post office you never go to.
Yeah.
You happen to be a post office on your way to somewhere else, and you're like, actually, I need a pen, and you go and buy it, and then now you've met the love of your life. Yeah. It's so random. That's why I stay in my house.
Is there a thing where when a man or a woman meets the counterpart for the first time and they start vibing, it's going all cool and everything, but then either online or offline, somebody else jumps into the mix, kind of picks their head up, like, hi.
Yeah.
And they're in two minds now because they're comparing and contrasting. Yeah. And then their focus dwindles.
Yeah.
Is that what normally happens?
It depends where you're at with somebody, because I wouldn't. Well, it depends. If I'm just talking to somebody where we're just getting to know each other casually and stuff like that, if another guy pops up, I'm not locking that off for this thing that isn't anything yet. So yeah. So sometimes that's how it is. That's how it happens. Does that answer your question?
Yeah, but I'm really wondering if it is. I'm just speaking from a privileged standpoint.
You are.
I probably am, innit?
No, not probably. As a matter of fact, you 100% are. Because even when it is that, I feel like when you feel like, I'm ready, you're not necessarily gonna have to do much work.
But
you have to do much in screening them and stuff.
Exactly.
But in terms of a line, this queue's already out the door, round the way.
Okay, but in my head, you said there are a lot of men out there that flatter to deceive.
Yeah.
So there are a lot of men who make that particular measure or metric.
Oh yeah, tick boxes.
They have what they have visibly.
Yeah.
Visibly.
Yeah.
Aesthetically. But then when you start getting to talk to them, then a character comes in and all the red flags start flying. So I don't know if I'm in a privileged position in that particular regard.
Not necessarily. I don't know actually. Cause I was gonna say I feel like women put their best foot forward more, but I don't think so. I feel like both parties put their best foot forward more. But women are more. Okay, I don't know how it's gonna sound, but women are more likely to. So with a man, he can put his best foot forward first, but then over time he will start to show you his real self. With women, they can put their best foot forward, but they can continue to move in the light of their best foot just to secure the man. That makes sense. And so when the guy's then showing his now real self, they will still be tolerating the foolishness, even though they know that it's not what they really want. Because again, for them, the goal is just to get a man. Do you know what I'm trying to say? So women are more tolerant of foolishness, I would say, than men are. Except the men who trouble in there, where they like that whole crazy stuff.
Yeah.
But it's all crazy until you start bleeding in bed one day. So
I would love to hear thoughts from men who, I guess society would deem them decent, right? And then they have complaints about dating women, black women, most importantly. And I would like to hear what
their complaints are.
Yeah, what their issues are, what their complaints are.
I feel like I would know a couple.
Go on.
So I feel like, a lot of people don't, and this across the board, a lot of people don't work on themselves. A lot of women, when they meet a decent guy, like a quote unquote good guy, like a guy with good character, the kind of guy they've been saying they want, because they're so used to toxicity and foolishness, they don't know how to deal with that. And a lot of them self-sabotage and ruin that.
Facts.
And that's where a girl like me comes in. It's a safe space, baby. I've been working on myself. But do you know what I mean? So a lot of decent guys would say, because I've got friends who are very great men.
Yeah.
And that's what their story is, where the girl was just a madman.
So when you say self-sabotage, what does that kind of look like?
So having trust issues. I think it's so funny how people walk around this earth talking about, I have trust issues, and they wear it's a badge of honor. That's not normal, because how will you ever get to build with somebody if you're talking about you have trust issues? So you meet somebody who can actually be trusted, which I get, because obviously other people have acted like they could be trusted and they burnt that whatever. But you meet this person that actually can be trusted, but you are so guarded up. And I feel like there's only so much a person can try to get out of you before they get tired, because is it really worth it? What am I doing this for? Because I have the same mindset when I meet guys who are troubled and they do the whole trust issues and da-da-da-da. I can tolerate this for a little while on account, okay, you will get to see that I'm not what it is that scarred you. But after a while, there's no incentive here because it's like you're constantly auditioning and constantly trying to prove to this person why they should trust you, why they should be with you. So it gets tiring. So I feel like with a lot of decent guys, I feel like their situation will be like, it's tiring having to prove that you are a decent guy. But unfortunately, there's a lot of guys, a lot of wolves in sheep clothing that have presented as decent guys. But I think that I believe that, you know, just because you had a bad experience with one person, I can't tar everybody with that brush. I just don't trust that man. Mm-hmm. Your Honor, that man, I don't trust him. However, when I meet somebody else, I don't walk into that situation automatically not trusting that person. I've got my wits about me. Do you get me? But I wouldn't be like, I don't trust you, so now you have to go out of your way to prove why I need to trust you. And I think that's the issue with dating these days. It's like both genders are hurt from like past experiences and whatnot, but then you meet someone who's done nothing to you, but then now you're holding them to the sins of the last person you dated. And people like me, I don't have time for that because I'm not holding you to the sins of the last person I dated. So why on earth would I come here trying to audition for your love? Bye-bye.
All right, so the trust issues manifest in... Let me see your phone.
What?
How do the trust issues manifest? Let me see your phone.
No, let me see your phone. Where you going? Like, just in a lot of things. Like, not even like... I feel like even sometimes as well, what I've clocked, a lot of people talk about wanting love, but they don't know how to accept love. So when you got someone that's actually showing you the love that you've always said you wanted, you don't know how to react to that. You don't know how to deal with that. You don't know how to take that in, and you don't know how to even appreciate that. So yeah, trust issues shows up in different ways. Like, let me see your phone. Where are you going? Wanting to be so clingy. What else is there? And not even also as well. A big thing as well is people not being as open as you would be. Obviously, people have different levels of vulnerability they want to reach and stuff. But some people they get you know, say they've gone through something bad, they get closed up. So because they're closed up now, you now have to do extra work to get them to open up. Please, I'm not your therapist. Bye. I don't believe in stuff like that. So that's how trust issue shows up, because they don't trust you to be open and vulnerable and to do the things that needs to actually get you to the point where you can actually build a relationship.
So trust issues, any other things that these men will talk about as issues?
Maybe like superficial stuff as well. So say it's a guy who's like lives like he's very content with the kind of life he lives. He's got a great job, but then say like maybe love languages. So say for example, his way of showing love is like words of affirmation, showing up for you, whatever. But that's a girl who was dating somebody who was always buying her stuff, but never was doing words of affirmation, never was doing physical. All the other love languages were neglected, and his only way of showing love was gifts and stuff. She could be like, oh, I don't feel like you love me, because her measure of how she is loved is by a guy doing this particular thing. But that shows up for all the love languages. I guess, yeah, that could be a thing as well. Because the people who their main love language is like physical touch. And the ex, it was always physical touch. But then this person, their love language isn't that. So you might internalize that and feel as though because they're not like physically touching you that much, they might not like you. However, though, I do think your partner has to physical touch you, bro. That is an affection of love.
Any more, Emmanuel? From a man's point of view?
Entitlement.
Yeah,
I think it kind of ties into
a big one.
Yeah, 100%. I think it ties into what Esther was just saying, though. Like, just feeling like, okay, cool. Because you're a man or because I see you in a particular way, you must do this for me. You know what I'm saying? When I think a lot of decent men kind of like, cool, I don't mind doing this for you, but with time and it's just a natural process.
Yeah, let me know that.
You know what I'm saying? Rather than making it seem as though I'm some sort of tool where because I'm now present, you can use me in any type of way you see fit. You know what I mean? I think that's definitely one.
That is a big one, actually. Yeah. The entitlement of it is crazy.
And is this collated from like threads and stuff online?
Not necessarily, because you know what? Not necessarily, because I think sometimes people think that the way women date, they get the ideas from social media and stuff, but they get it from the real life experiences too. A lot of guys don't have substance. A lot of guys just have money to throw at women. Like, that's it. There's no personality there. They're not even funny. They're not funny. They're not interesting. They're boring as heck. But all they have is money and let's go here, let's go here. So then women get used to that. And so, yeah. It's the same way. Sorry, it's the same way. Like if a guy, he's with a woman who always like cooks and whatever. If you're with a woman who doesn't cook like that, that's what you're used. That's how you're used to being shown love. So that will be an issue. So the way people are shown love, and because people don't understand that, yes. So I meet somebody, right? This is my way of showing you that I love you, and your way of showing me you love me is different. However, the way that I might want to be shown love might be different to how it is that you show love. Yeah. And we've got to understand that and get to a point where we can meet with that. Do you get me? It's not enough to just do something for somebody because that's how you want to be shown love.
100%.
That's not how I take love. Do you get me? So unfortunately, a lot of guys, they do use money to buy. That's why I always find it funny when guys talk about women being gold diggers. I'm like, all you brought to the table was gold though. I mean, it's not really gold, it's more bronze, but that's really all you brought to the table there. So it works both ways, but the entitlement is a thing there, 100%. With some women. Entitlement is crazy, boy.
Someone said picking fights for no reason. Does that happen?
That's trust issues, yeah.
Man.
Serious?
All right, calm down.
Sorry, guys.
100%. But that's where that's trust issues as well. And also a bit psychotic, but you guys want to hear that.
So is it psychotic? Because Emmanuel
I think it's
suggests
crazy
that a lot of women do it. So are a lot of women psychotic?
When did I suggest a lot?
It was the Vim in there, 100%. It was the Vim.
Personally, I think it's crazy to be picking fights unprovoked. Clearly, there's an issue there, and you want to address it. Just address the issue like a mature person. But picking fights, yeah. Are you tired? That's bad vibes. That's bad vibes. So how many arguments do you want us to have in one day? I don't even like having arguments. Period. How many do you want us to have in one day? Over stupid little things as well.
Oh, so you're saying that they want to address something, they want to communicate something, but they want the opportunity to do it, so they get him ready by woofing him up.
No, but I don't think it's that.
Way. I think that's one thing, but sometimes it's because things are too good. So because things are too good, I need to find the balance. Otherwise, this utopia I know is going to crash one day.
That's an interesting one I forgot. That's a big one. That's a big one.
This is a thing?
For sure.
As in from women?
Some women. Yes.
Yes.
Yeah, because do you know what? Actually, that's a big
What's
one.
the percentage?
That's a very important one you brought up.
Sorry. Percentage wise, how many?
Let me see.
No, I checked before. ChatGPT told me.
Wait,
it's like 82%.
That's fine.
82%.
80 is not bad. I thought you were going to give me 96%. That's fine.
It's serious.
Yeah, because again, but that leads to again trust issues where because things are going so smoothly. Yeah, some of them are like, something came right. So now they start to try and get out what they think might not be right.
Can you explain this?
But someone like me, I'm the
Should
Lulu.
we wait until Laura comes so she can explain this? Because I don't understand this.
I'm the Lulu. I sit in... When something is good, yeah, I really just enjoy and embrace it. Even though I know it's, sorrow might... You know when the Bible says, troubles may endure in the night, but joy comes in the morning? Sometimes the joy is now, and trouble is what's waiting me. But you know what it is? I enjoyed this period. And then I crossed that bridge. This is why I got myself in that situation.
So you do feel that's a bit different. So you do feel as though let me enjoy this last.
Yeah, but you know what it is though? I don't go on my way to sabotage it. Because again, sometimes it's what you're used to. Because you're used to chaos, when you got peace, and psychologists say this actually, when you're used to chaos and you've got peace, chaos is your comfort zone, weirdly enough. It's what you're used to. So when there's peace, it's like, is this normal? So me, I just enjoy that peace. But some people don't enjoy it. They self-sabotage it so it can go back to chaos that they're used to. And then when it goes back to chaos, they're like, well, I knew something wasn't right. But no, you created the chaos. But it's all about, again, people being used to something. That's why even when we talk about the whole bad boy thing and whatnot, and going for bad boys, you know that guy's not good for you. You know for a fact. You've tested, tried, and proved this word to burner hella times. But yet, you go back in a situation that shows you every single thing that you say you don't like. It's something to intentionally work on.
I might be naive, but I don't think any of the Kickback HQ babes are like these people.
No, I feel like the men are though. So there's that.
I can't speak to them.
Love you, Kickback.
I didn't see any men.
Yeah, the men I saw, trouble in there. Because literally, if a guy says hello to me, I just know you're on bullshit, man.
Why?
Can you imagine?
I just know.
He said hello. He's been nice. Hello.
I know. Do you know what it is though? It's the power of God. Because I pray. So God has blessed. God continues to bless me in the spirit of discernment. I've never been wrong about a guy. I've never lost a good guy. I've never lost a guy that I should actually be with. Any guy that I'm like, okay, yeah, we've reached our stop. I've always been justified in that.
But how can you know somebody you've not tried with?
Again, Jesus speaks to my heart.
All right.
Because sometimes, but I feel like you can tell like by a person. So you can tell like by a person's personality and stuff like that. Because like, say I meet a guy, yeah, sometimes a guy be talking to me, but you're just flirting up and down, excuse me, can we calm down? I can tell what you're on by that. By that, when you call me or when you message me, and you're telling me what it is that you're up to, I can tell what you're on. Me a guy and I tell him like, what do you do for a living? Telling me a bit of this, a bit of that. You're fraudulent, man. You are hush puppy, or you're trying to be hush puppy, and I'm not involved because I will snitch. I'm not from the streets. So I feel like you have to just kind of. I pay attention to things. Like I'm very good at reading people, and I pay attention. You've got to pay attention to things, otherwise, you will chop breakfast.
One of the commenters, Imi Snowglobe, says, I think it's sometimes wanting attention but finding it difficult to be vulnerable, so they pick a fight instead.
Yeah, that's another reason, yeah. So some people, again, this goes back to how it is your partner shows love and whatever, but if you want attention, you feel like your partners are showing you that much attention, just let them know. But what they'll do is, you do little things that will get you some kind of attention. You know how they say that no PR is bad PR? Or no press is bad press? It's like that. No attention is bad. Can be. It's tricky, man. That's what I always say. I feel like people have to work. You have to work on yourself and know know who you are, know what you want before you get in a relationship. Relationships are hard work.
You don't have to worry about any of this anymore. You're lucky. Man.
Left the streets, man. The streets ain't fun. Actually, no, it is fun though. I enjoy being single. That's why I'm not intentionally looking. If you come my way, that's great, but you have to fight. Literally, like it's not a thing for me. I know women who want to really leave the streets. And I feel bad for them because they actively going on dates and actively getting to know a guy and it's like bullshit after bullshit after bullshit after bullshit. And it's just like, that must be so tiring, wanting something so bad that you can't control. But you have to just go through the motions of it all.
What makes somebody go on dates so frequently and fight and get nothing from it? I know it sounds like a silly question, yeah, but is it always the person they're going on the different people they're going on dates with, or is it sometimes their selection, so they get bad odds?
Sometimes it is that though, because I feel like that's the thing with love though. You can't. The people that find love, there's people that like found the first love is their only love, and that's the love for the rest of their life. Do you know what I mean? And there's people that it was after their two tries or like 50 tries, or you just don't know. So I don't think it's anything that necessarily. Unless you're obviously like a witch or a wizard. But sometimes you're just not in control and you just don't know what you're going to meet.
It's true.
Morning, caller.
Can you call back, please, caller? It's now activated.
We want to start activating that with ourselves before we go on air.
No, it doesn't look like that. It has to have a call first. And then, okay. Yeah. It's funny like that.
Yeah, but it's crazy, man. I feel bad for people that really, really want love and are doing everything they can, and it feels as though they're not getting it. It's actually sad to, not sad in like a I'm shy for you way, but I feel for them because they're actively trying.
Can I ask a question? Yeah.
Yeah.
Do you feel like people in that position, they kind of struggle a bit more to get the desired result when they're a bit older in age? When I say a bit older, I don't even mean I don't mean like 40 or nothing like that. Yeah. I just mean like, let's say from like 30 or even 29. The reason why I'm saying that is because every person that I kind of know from when like I was in my 20s and stuff, that kind of set out on that journey from like 20, 21, like women going to uni and thinking, when I come out of uni, I want to get married. Yeah. They all managed it. Do you get where I'm coming from?
Yeah, but that's the thing though. It's still luck.
But I get what you're saying, but it's almost like, I don't know, like, I'm trying to ask myself, would they have found it a bit difficult if they, for example, said, you know what, I'm not looking for anything now, but maybe when I get a job, when I get my own place, when I'm like 28, 29, 30, 32, then I want to actively settle down. It becomes a bit difficult because I guess a lot of the guys you would have met that are maybe quote unquote decent people, maybe would have chosen to settle down when they was 25, 26, 27, 28. You know what I'm saying?
I hear you, but I think...
Good morning, caller.
Morning, caller. Next time, just time
Oh,
to shut
yeah,
up.
good morning.
How are you?
Morning, how are you, man?
No. Well, I'm fine. What's this, Valerie? I was calling because I just wanted to say the variables are too much in the dating pool because of different. There's people that don't want a serious relationship, but they're busy chasing the woman that wants to get married in 2 years and have 2 kids. And then there's the girl that's chasing a guy that, I don't know, maybe he's on 21K or something like that, but yet she wants the lifestyle. And for a fact, women never date down when it comes to lifestyle. You've been dating, your ex was on, I don't know, let's say 42 or something K, and now you're dating a guy that's on 21, and now you're complaining to him like, oh, but you're not doing this, but you're not doing this. How can he? He's not there yet. So I just feel like there's too many variables, and I feel like people need to face their front and date what's in front of them, especially men as well, because men chase up all the time. Like, they punch up so high, and I just wonder how some girls are with some men. But anyways, like, that's the reason why passport bros became a thing, because of the fact that they could see that, listen, I want to keep punching up, and in this economy, I'm really low. So let me go down south or down east or somewhere where I know that I'm going to be up there and still be, the it guy or whatever. That's the issue, that no one's facing their front and dating their level. Even girls, I'm talking to girls as well.
Is that a bad thing though? Is it wrong to kind of aspire?
Yes, it is, man. You're too greedy. That's the problem. All human beings are just so greedy.
What, to aspire for something higher than you? Why?
I think passport bros is that problem.
The passport bros, I don't know enough about them niggas, but like
not just passport bros, even ladies. Okay, example. You said you want a 6-figure nigga that he's on, what did I say, 6-inch dick, and also he's 6 foot, whatever. They always say 6 inches. No, but that's literally what they say online, isn't it? Sorry, excuse my French. Anyways, but and then he asks you, okay, so what now? Even though I hate that question, what do you bring to the table? Because trust me, if a guy approaches you, he knows what the fuck you bring to the table, so you don't need to explain yourself, sis. Anyways, but when he answers you that question, too funny, no, but it's true. Guys can see what they want from the get-go. They know what you bring to the table. They see, okay, she brings good-looking character. Why are you asking her that question? You just want her to stutter for no reason. You know what she brings to the table. Anyways, so when they ask you that question, you generally have nothing to say because you do not bring anything but nyash. Like, really? Come on. And it's some like what you said, Esther. Some guys, or let me say majority of the guys, they have nothing to bring to the table apart from their fucking millions of pounds in their pocket. But other than that, you're not funny. I have to do
you better than me, girl. I don't even laugh. I'm straight face.
But the thing is though, Valerie,
I carry the fun in this relationship.
But Valerie, most guys don't have that much money though.
That's what's funny, and they still lead with it.
That's what's funny,
so
and then they still. That's the thing. Thank you,
man.
That's it. Like even the guy that's on, let's say 25K, he'll be telling you, I'm not looking for a gold digger. Like, I need a girl to love me for who I am. But you have nothing, sir. So there's no one chasing for you for your money.
Maybe he's being protective. You know what I mean? He's just feeling like of like
protective of what?
Just thinking, you know what? Like, I believe in myself. One day I'm going to get to a certain place. Let me try and not get those people who kind of just want me for my tomorrow.
That's fair to be fair.
I don't know.
Okay, Baba. Right now, you're chasing girls right now.
Right now, what? You're chasing girls?
No, but you're literally... You're actively searching for a girl right now in your position of 25K. So look within your bracket. Guess what? A girl that works in Poundland, or a girl that works in McDonald's, or a girl that works in, I don't know, that's in your same bracket, is not going to be chasing you because of your money. Guess what? When you say to her, darling, I want to do this, but I don't have the money to give you, she's going to be understanding because she's on the same thing. But you're busy chasing bottle girls that are looking for guys with private jets. Like, that's the problem. Is people are chasing things that's not for you, babes. Yeah. Whether it's a girl and a guy, like, both of us are so bloody greedy. And stop.
I'll be real with it. Valerie's right with that though.
That's why I said in a comment that, does your type like you? it's not. Unfortunately, for girls and guys, the girls are looking for a guy that are this and this and this and this, that have this tick box. But does he like you back? Unfortunately not. And then the other guy, you're looking for a tick box. But does she like you? No, because you're not there yet. So go for what likes you. Then both of people will be happy. That's the issue. It's so annoying because I see it all the time when ladies would be complaining or guys are complaining, because I used to be a really hard tomboy. And so most of my guys used to be boys. And I would hear stories of, oh yeah, I want to settle with this girl, but she's a hoe. They don't go for her then. You chase her. Why are you chasing the hoe then? Go and chase the girl that's in church. You don't want. You're saying she's boring. What the fuck?
Yeah, I'll be real. Valerie's spitting facts, man. I think that's really what it comes down to, is knowing what it is that works for you and going after that. But again, a lot of people, you want to chase something that, I mean, I'll be real with you anyway. We always talk about like social media and girls chasing guys with money and da-da-da-da. A lot of girls are with bums, okay? Men don't really have money like that.
Yeah,
there's not,
generally.
The girls you see on Instagram and stuff like that, a lot of people are lying. It's when scandals happen now, we find out her man hasn't got a job and she's been the one sustaining this man for the last 4 years. So that's the whole thing in itself anyway. But really and truly, people just went for what it is that is for them, that they desire. This will make a lot of things easier. But the problem is people haven't got the priorities right. Because again, you don't want a girl who's a gold digger or whatever, but every girl that you move to, looks like an Instagram baddie. So,
thank you.
She's looking
for Diddy and the man, and you're chasing her. Why are you chasing her?
And then you got a good girl that says, a non-Instagram baddie who says she wants a decent guy, blah blah. But the guy you're chasing is a fraud boy. Or the church drama. They're the same one and the same.
Thank you.
You get what I mean? It's crazy.
The girl has a 5-year. The girl has a 5-year plan of how she sees her life going, yeah? But then you're going to chase a guy that's going to ask you to take out a loan for you. Like, are you okay, girl? Like, come on, go and chase the guy that's going to say, oh, you've got a 5-year plan. You've got a 5-year plan. Okay, let's do it together. Let's work together on this 5-year plan. And let's go. Like, everyone is chasing something that's not for you, babes. Let the gold digger chase the guy that wants to be the sugar daddy. Because there's actually guys that wants that. They only want a trophy wife. So go for that. Don't go for a guy that you're seeing, oh, he's just going to live a basic life and you don't want the basic lifestyle. Or the same for vice versa. You are a guy and you're looking for a nice girl that's going to be a great mother. But you're going in a club looking for a girl that's wearing nothing but G-string. Like, are you okay?
Not nothing but G-string. But it's true though. Everyone, you just go where it is that you say you want to be. A lot of people's priorities are messed up. But a lot of it as well comes from trying to live a life that looks good to other people and not to yourself, because you want to flex on the gram, you want to do all that kind of stuff. It's silly, man. And people like that, you're not serious about leaving the streets.
You know how girls say, oh, can I see a picture of the guy you're talking to, or whatever, and then they'll give you different variables of why you can't show. Because
first of all, like, he's not really like a photo person. He's not really. Sister,
well, guys do the same thing, yeah. When they're talking to girls and whatever, the first thing that they want to make sure in their head is, does he look good? Does she look good to post in the group chat? It's like, well, really?
Where did you get this information from?
It's trust me. I just said. Thank you. Genuinely, look.
Yeah,
I actually still. I still play football with guys.
A lot of men use their girls to get accolades from the other boys.
Yeah, like it's like a trophy thing. Even that's what I'm saying. Even the guys that are on 21K that don't really have much, yeah, they need this like validation of, oh, look at my girl. Look at my girl. Look, she's nice. It's so annoying. It really is annoying. People don't look.
I remember with the Microsoft in my mouth saying that if I'm with Stephen Emmanuel, whoever else is there, I can't remember anybody else right now.
Yeah.
And we've gone out, whether it's a restaurant, we've all gone out with our wives or counterparts or whatever. There's no way that my wife is not going to be the way we stay.
You said that is true. You have said that.
Look at that.
You have said that.
So I don't think she's lying at all.
Yeah, but
that's the problem. Is everyone is concerned about everyone else. Be concerned. Are you not going to live in the house with that girl? You're going to be stuck with that person. But because she looks the best, like Thing just said, she looks the best in the bunch, you're going to tolerate her craziness in the house when she's slapping you left and right. Like what Esther said. He's not going to be funny when you're bleeding there now. But because she looks the baddest, and you want to make sure that I got the good one. Yeah.
No,
and vice versa
Valerie,
for
it's so
ladies.
interesting that you say all of that, right? Because obviously it puts it on me, the spotlight on me, to say that I'm actually choosing my wife with that in mind. I'm not sure if that's the case.
No, you're not.
Exactly.
It's a factor, though.
But this is why I'm going to be so kind of open-minded with how she wants to dress, how she wants to style herself, because I want her to peacock. Not that she needs to peacock. If you feel confident peacocking, please, you're not going to get any grief from me.
I've always said I want to peacock. I'm a peacock type of girl. I want to go pick my kids up and all the other dads fancy me.
Trust me.
That's my parents' aspiration in life.
I want my coat to be blowing in the wind whilst I'm walking to the class.
I want them other little girls looking at me, but I want to be like her one day. Your mum is so cool.
I want to be like her when I grow up.
Yeah, period. Absolutely.
So that's the issue, that everyone's just looking. You need to face your front. Everyone. This is including me too. Everyone needs to face their front.
Sorry to interrupt you. Let me ask you a question.
Valerie will come in the studio one day though. I love Valerie.
Valerie, you're dropping gems today, man. So let me ask you this question for the people out there, yeah? So if somebody now has just heard you speak now, they're now thinking, you know what, cool, I'm going to change my approach tomorrow, right? And I want to be successful in the first 6 months of next year, right? Because we're coming to a new year, new resolutions, new relationships, new all that type of stuff, right? How does somebody find somebody on their own level? And how does somebody become honest about what level they're at?
You know what's funny, yeah? When you were younger, it's the little things that attracted you to those little. Let me speak from a girl's perspective. The little things that attracted you to a guy that he doesn't do, like he does. What can I say? You know, like normal human behavior that you just like, that's cute. Those little things that spark something in you that he doesn't really need to do anything. He doesn't need to buy you flowers. He doesn't need to. Those are the things that you should actually look for, because that makes you genuinely happy without any decorations, and no icing on top. Because you need to look for the cake before you can put the icing on top. That's the issue, that people are looking for the icing but not looking for the cake, and that doesn't make sense. That's just a floppy bowl of icing, and look for the cake first. So exactly what I said is, when you look for those little things that actually make you happy, like a little child again, that's when you find genuine connection with someone.
That's true, because I saw a tweet yesterday, and this woman was saying how, so I feel like whenever she washes the dishes, she always puts her ring somewhere and whatever. And so basically her man has did a hook, so that whenever she's doing things around the house, she can just hook her ring up there, and she always kind of finds
those little things. Yeah. And that's what you look for. And for guys, it's the same thing. Example, let's say you mentioned to a girl that you're talking to, like, oh yeah, I don't know. Oh, I just moved into my house, you know. And the fact that she's just like, oh, she came over and she slept over, and she's you got dead flat pillows, which I don't know why men always have, right? And she decided to go. To Argos or wherever, even Dunham. Let's say Dunham, and she got you 4 matching pillows. Yeah. Something so little like that. Yeah. You see what I mean?
No, but when
you see those little tiny, tiny things that matter.
You're right, man.
I mean, if you break out my pillows with me.
No. But that's the thing. That's the thing, Esther. Guess what? I know, Esther. Guess what? No, guess what, Esther? Yeah, he's gonna be thinking of you now. When he's sleeping on those things, he's gonna be like, "Raw, why was I sleeping on a wooden mattress?"
Not necessarily, goddammit.
Valerie, you will have sex with another woman on that same pillow.
You can have no problem, but that's
down in that same pillow, girl.
Guess what, Esther? That's the bad boy. That's the bad boy. That's the bad boy. Then they're the bad boys. You don't want them anyways.
That's what you think. You
want a genuine person,
girl. Sometimes there's wolves in sheep clothing.
No, you wanna. Exactly. Well, that's the issue. No, but there comes the issue that I said. You're looking for icing. Just because the guy looks nice and he dresses well does not mean that he's the one. That's my point. See, it still goes back to what I'm saying.
No, you're right, though, you want to bring. It's definitely the little things, man.
You want to bring Femi home just because he dresses well and he won't embarrass you. But guess what? You need to actually pick someone that maybe doesn't know how to chill properly, and you have to be the one to tell him like, "Oh, babes, you've been eating like this your whole life." Nah, come on, we need to change that. And that little one tweak in a guy has now made him look like Femi.
Yeah, I guess everyone.
The problem is, we all want finish. The problem is, we all want the finishing product. That's the issue. I think we all want finishing products right now. Like no one
sometimes, though, Valerie. I think sometimes people have put in a shift.
Yeah,
and I deserve.
That's why I said.
Do you know what it is as well?
That's why I said.
Sometimes people are professional boyfriend fluffers. I've fluffed a few men in my time, and I'm tired of fluffing people. It's not every day you like. I'm the one who teaches you how to love. I'm the one who teaches you how to be vulnerable. I'm the one who teaches you how to treat a woman. Then you go and use the skills that you've learned here on somebody else.
No. That's why I said.
I want someone else to do the job, and then let me get the finished product of a woman's job. That's what I would like.
I said the little things. I'm not talking about if someone doesn't show you love, then leave. Then, and that's the issue. You're staying. So that's the issue on you now. You can see that he's not giving you the love that you want. Move. Go away. Go to somewhere where you feel loved.
Yeah, man.
The issue is like what's your favorite judge says? What's her name? Is it Judge Lynn?
Oh, Judge
she literally said that to that. She said that to that lady. She goes, someone shows you how they want to love you, and when they don't show you, go. But the problem is, ladies invest so much in guys. Like we literally put our heart and soul building this man, and then now when he's not interested, you're like, but no. But I built you, so why are you not interested in me? You should have gone at the front door.
I think also the issue
you should have gone.
Also, the issue is that you think you built the man, though, innit? Because why do you think that after 24 years of him living life, you came along in 1.5 years, you changed him to bloody Superman?
No, you didn't.
It didn't happen. You know what I'm saying? Like, you may have done a little.
Guess what? No, guess what? Yeah, some people don't see themselves and their mistakes and their whatever. But I feel ladies are like Google Maps kind of thing, where they see what's ahead and like, you know what, if you want to be here, then you kind of need to change this about you. And then the guy starts saying that, oh, rah, my girl said I got attitude problem, but now that I'm talking better to my boss, oh, look at me, I've got a promotion now. And your bosses are going to recognize your change in a few months, right? It's not going to take them years to realize that you've changed. Your character's changed. You're now a hardworking person because guess what? You're more happy at home because someone's cooking you meals and etc. So some of the burden has been lifted off your shoulders. So now you can focus at work and actually be the provider that you want to be.
I think that's just a relationship those are the tweaks. Thing, though, isn't it? I think that's just like both people. So in the same way you built him, he built you.
Say that.
No, it is.
Yeah, no problem. Yeah. I agree with that.
No problem.
But I definitely agree with that. But if she didn't come into your life, then you wouldn't have had that change. So that's why it's called build a man, because you wouldn't have seen that brick that you're missing or that puzzle that you're missing to complete the man that you want to be.
Sometimes I feel like you kind of build each other though, because even though there's people that I've poured into, I mean they haven't poured into me, but in my experience of them or with them, I've learnt stuff about myself that otherwise may not have learnt. So, you know.
There you go. You guys add to each other, yeah. But without that person entering your life, Esther, you wouldn't have gained that gem now, would you?
Oh, I mean, that's
the same
debatable.
as the guy.
I think
no, you wouldn't.
Some things can be avoided.
Sometimes you need that disgusting relationship to actually, build character.
So this is the problem.
I think God could have found other ways to do that. I think I could have found it at my employment when I was being paid.
No, you say that, but you can't. We were all, and that's the problem. We even want finished results with ourselves.
Yeah.
Well,
but you have to go through the hurdles anyways. But yeah, I just came to tell you guys that you guys need to stop looking for the icing and start actually looking for the fundamentals that actually make someone a suitable partner for yourself.
Okay, Valerie. Okay, we hear you.
Thank you, Valerie.
Appreciate your input as always.
Let's go. It's kidding me that the girls she's talking to are still gonna do what they want to do.
Oh, for sure.
They're like, that's your own. Anyways, we've got a lovely guest today, so let's get into our first headlines.
He went somewhere yesterday.
Okay.
All right, so our first headline, Rishi Sunak has defended his new Rwanda bill. There's a new one now, man, and he's insisted that it blocks every single reason that has ever been used to prevent flights to Rwanda from taking off. You know, these are his words.
The ghost of Sweater Braverman lives on. It's crazy.
Did you watch it?
No, I didn't. Yeah. He's determined. Who's this caller?
So this is not a relationship podcast.
Hello, good morning.
Good morning, caller.
Good morning.
Hiya. Morning. Hi, it's Fatima.
Morning, Fatima.
I just thought I should call in for a little bit. Valerie was amazing. Wow. She was just dropping them gems. But I was going to say, in terms of, well, my perspective, being that I've been with my husband for quite a few years, we were together since, 16?
How sweet.
But sometimes people get lucky, you know. You can just meet the right person.
Yeah.
And you end up, I don't know, growing together and choosing the right things and pretty much the same things. Yeah. And I think sometimes I think I've got a lot of friends that, I don't know, put a lot of pressure on themselves. And I think sometimes you do just get lucky that you met someone that's level-headed and is not insane. And whether it's, I would say my husband's mainly because of his family and the way he was raised. So his perspective of life was a bit normal and not crazy. And yeah, and also a lot of us need to go to therapy, you know. Even during my marriage, I went therapy to get over, you know, my family related issues, because then you become, what's it called? I don't know, you can become apprehensive of, oh, this is going to end soon. Because this is what I've always seen. And then you don't enjoy the good. And you're just tense. And I'm like, wait, I've never really experienced anything bad in this relationship. Why am I so tense? And sometimes there is work that even us as women really need to do. So Gina, really, I'll be honest, when I watch Gina sometimes, it's scary. Because some of her stories, I'm just like, oh God, this woman has been through all of it. And I've never been through it. I've been in one relationship my whole life. And I'm like, thank God. I don't want to experience it. So God willing, me and my husband die together, because these stories really scares me, honestly. But yeah, sometimes it is luck. And I would also say you have to also look at when you're meeting other guys, in regards to who doesn't have your non-negotiables. Like there's so many people that you can actually end up with. And let's say me and my husband, I'll say we're quite different, but I think the main thing that made him different, because to be honest, it's not that I had many options and I just decided not to explore any options, but he had all of my non-negotiables, because I saw from my dad what I did not want. And I ensured, okay, I'm not even going to entertain anybody who has any signs of certain things. And I think that really helped. So in terms of all the minor things of being thoughtful and things, he slowly then developed it. But the main important things of my non-negotiables, the person didn't have, and obviously he didn't have money. We were in college, secondary school. But I think really focusing on whether they have your non-negotiables or not is important. If not, you end up chopping breakfast well.
Girl.
But
I hear you.
But yeah. But anyways, enjoy the rest of the day.
Thank you, lovely. Very much for calling. Thank you both.
Bye.
It's always nice to get a marriage perspective, isn't it? Cute.
All right. So, like I was saying, Rishi Sunak, he's defended his new Rwanda bill, insisting it blocks every single reason that has ever been used to prevent flights to Rwanda from taking off. The Prime Minister vowed that his last-ditch attempt to send illegal migrants on planes to Rwanda will finally stop the boats, as he tried to temper frustrations within the Tory party. Mr. Sunak's press conference on Thursday followed the shock resignation of his former immigration minister on Wednesday, who claimed the bill was a triumph of hope over experience. But the Prime Minister, who will give ministers power to disapply sections of the Human Rights Act in order to prevent legal challenges to flights, said, "I'm confident I can get this thing done." Robert Jenrick, we spoke about this guy yesterday, once an ally for Mr. Sunak, quit his cabinet role on Wednesday, citing strong disagreements over the government's immigration policy. Criticising the new Rwanda bill, he said, "I refuse to be yet another politician who makes promises on immigration to the British public but does not keep them." We got a caller?
We do. Good morning, caller.
You got TDA. What's going on?
Thank you very much. Who are we speaking to, please?
It's Kevin.
Kevin.
Oh, morning, Kevin.
I know I had to call him, man. Value was talking of madness. I had to correct up the thing called Keisha Nash-Whitaker.
What did you disagree with?
Most of it.
Surprise, surprise.
Most of it. A lot of the opinions was kind of like a very modern take on what relationships require and what you can do and what you have. Build a man and like they build a bear is wild. Like let's look at it in reality. Like I said in the chat, men ain't on the clock, women are. It's your job to keep a man. It's your job to get one. Like there ain't no word for old men when we ain't got a woman except for silver fox, because we get better with age. Men age like wine, women age like milk. This is just big facts, you know. So in reality, the older you get, the more it is on you as a woman to tie down a man and to go into an old spinster, right? That's the reason why we have the word spinster.
So, so wait, Karen, yeah, like, obviously, like you're saying, older man is like a silver fox, yeah. But obviously, that's not his optimum, though, isn't it? Like, sure, his optimum, like, peak form is not when he's 60. You know what I'm saying? So it's like, isn't that just a positive way of seeing a single man?
So, men's peak is completely different to most women's, right? Most men don't peak until they're like 45.
Okay.
The average man's actual peak is when they hit 35 upwards to about 45 to 50. Like when you look around at most accomplished men, that's when their stages. Like Idris Elba for right now, for example, right? Idris is in his 50s, right? But he's at the peak of his power. As a young man, he was just like most young men. He was broke. He didn't have very much. He had the ambition and the drive, but he hadn't accomplished anything. Most men don't accomplish anything until they're in their older stages of their life.
So that's what you consider the peak. Sorry. That's how you're kind of pretty much determining a man's peak, by his achievements, his financial status, and things of that nature.
Yeah, because that's how society views us. Huh? Young men aren't very useful, which is the reason why women have a thing for older men. You don't see women going for men who are younger than them on a regular occasion, because most young men haven't accomplished anything at a certain stage of their life. It happens as you get older and you get wiser. You grow out of the bullshit, as it were.
But don't most women get with women, like, even though a woman may get with an older man, right? Most women are not 25 going for 40-year-olds. You know what I mean? Most women maybe, I'm assuming anyway, are 25 going for a 30-year-old. You know what I'm saying? Most. Like, obviously there's a certain population on that particular bell curve, right? But most people ain't going for like 15-year gaps. This is why most people frown upon it. You know what I'm saying?
They frown upon it when it's happening to someone else apart from them.
Okay.
It's the reality. It's why a younger man. So I put this up right here. An incredible 56% of women state they prefer to date a guy older than them. That's on Real Men, Real Style. Yeah.
But how much older are we talking, though? How much older are we talking? Because I personally don't think. Go on.
Let me drop it. 45% of those women want their men to be between 5 and 15 years older than they are.
Okay. What's the
This is last updated 2023, August the 7th.
Well, what's the other thingies, percentages?
Well, it says 56% of women state that they prefer to date an older guy than them, and 45% of those women that said that they prefer to date an older guy want their men to be between 5 and 15 years older than they are.
Okay. You know what the thing is, like, I mean, so, like I said, to me personally, I feel like the 5-year thing, that makes sense to me. But I feel like it depends on where a woman is in life, though. Because I don't necessarily, again, I don't know, I finished uni ages ago, right? But I don't see someone in uni who's 21 wanted to get with a man who's 36. You know what I'm saying? Like, most women I knew around them times there were trying to get with people around their age group. Maybe 5 years max. You know what I'm saying?
So you remember the man that turning up in the cars and that are picking up the girls from school?
Yeah, but that's not 15 years, though. You know what I'm saying?
Like, it doesn't matter.
Huh?
It's not based on age. It's based on competence.
Yes.
They want a man who has, or a brother who's living at home with mum, doesn't drive, doesn't have a car, doesn't have access to a large amount of resources, is not as interesting. And we see this every day as men when we're walking around. This is the reason why the girls were talking about earlier, all he's got to do is bring his millions to the table. Well, that's because women value resources more than they value your age. Like, most women ain't going to kick Idris Elba out of the bed. They're not. Even if he's dramatically older than them, they're just not. They're there because he's competent in multiple other areas. His age, it might be a bit of a background issue, but it's not going to make them say, nah, I'll never go there. I'm all right. It's not going to happen.
Why are you mentioning Idris? Is he the rule?
He was an example.
Yeah, but you've used an example that's in the minority.
I'm using the example that's the majority because, like we said earlier, and I'll give you the study again, 56% of women state they prefer to date a guy older than them.
Kevin, sorry, are you sick?
Yeah. Cold.
Are you in bed
right now? Around. I am, yeah.
I think you need to stop talking, man.
You need to be plant-based, man.
No. As in, you need some rest. You need some rest, man.
Kids, bro.
You need to look after your vocal
I got kids, bro. Kids give you colds, man. That's what they do.
I don't feel good having you talking so much, man. Whilst it is that you could be using this time like resting up, man. No, I'm serious, man. I value you greatly, man.
I'm fine, man. Don't worry about me, man. I'm tough.
Thank you very much for your call. I appreciate you greatly. Please rest up. Please rest up.
Well.
All right. Thanks.
All right. So, Prince Harry's back in the news, man. Apparently, a High Court has heard that Prince Harry wants his children to feel at home in the UK, but they cannot if it's not possible to keep them safe. Right? Calling the UK his home, the Duke of Sussex said it was with great sadness that he and his wife Meghan felt forced to leave the country in 2020. He was challenging the Home Office over a decision to downgrade his security protection when visiting. The government says his claim should be dismissed. The court is considering the changes to publicly funded protection when Prince Harry stopped being a working royal in early 2020. After stepping back, he moved to the US, where he lives with his wife and his two children, Archie and Lilibet. The committee that arranges security for members of the royal family and other VIPs, known as RAVIC, decided in 2020 that Prince Harry would no longer have the automatic level of security for most senior royals. Instead, the level of security would be arranged depending on the perceived risk, as is the case with other high-profile visiting dignitaries. And the last headline, sad news, man. We've lost a legend.
When I saw this, man.
For those who don't know who we're talking about the legendary writer, poet, and actor, the great Benjamin Zephaniah. He's passed away, man, at the young age of 65. Imagine.
Sad.
65. He's going to be remembered as a titan of British literature. You know what I'm saying? And he contributed to the culture and, like, for so many decades. So many decades, man. And unfortunately, man, he passed away early on Thursday with his wife by his side after being diagnosed with a brain tumor 8 weeks ago.
That's crazy, you know.
Just 8 weeks ago, you know. They put out a statement and it said that we shared him with the world, and we know many will be shocked and saddened by this news. Tributes poured in for the beautiful human being and proud Brummie, who had a lot more to give. For those who don't know, Zephaniah was born and raised in Handsworth in Birmingham. He was the son of a Barbadian postman and a Jamaican nurse. Apparently, he was dyslexic.
Really?
Yeah, he left school at age of 13, unable to write or read. Yes.
And he went on to write great things.
Imagine.
That's lit.
Imagine. Yeah, man. He moved to London age 22 and he published his first book, Pen Rhythm. His early work, he used dub poetry. So there's bare like old records of his as well, like in the 80s and whatnot. Yeah, man. For those who don't know, it's a Jamaican style of work that has evolved into the music genre of the same name. And he would also perform with the group, the Benjamin Zephaniah Band. As Zephaniah's profile grew, he became a familiar face on television and was credited with bringing dub poetry into British living rooms. He also wrote 5 novels, as well as poetry, for children, and his first book for younger readers, Talking Turkeys, was a huge success upon its publication in 1994. I feel like a lot of people know him for turning down the OB. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And his values, and you know what I'm saying? Like, saying I believe in the resistance, obviously, of the British Empire. Mm-hmm. Why the hell would I want to be part of it?
Exactly.
You know what I'm saying? And everyone respected him for it. But yeah, man, he was more than like I guess a pro-black man. He was a humanist. You know what I'm saying? And he just really was just about deading all injustices to all people. You know what I'm saying? And it really came across it, man. Really, really talented man. But yes, man, R.I.P. to the legend that is Benjamin Zephaniah, man.
R.I.P.,
and
man.
And love to his family. And that's it for the headlines.
All right, let's get into what you saying topic of the day.
All right, people. So today's topic of the day, it's going to be a brief one. Like Esther said, we've got a guest coming through, and we can't wait for that. And obviously, we did speak quite a lot in the intro. Mm-hmm. But it's basically on the question, and this question was put forward by the Queen of BOE, you know what I'm saying, a while ago.
Big up, Christy.
So I thought, we have touched on it in the past before, but I kind of want to see if there's other things that we can kind of hit, basically. And the question is, why are black people expected, at least from many black people's perspective, anyway, we'll start there, right? Expected to rally behind other groups. And that sentiment is not necessarily reciprocal. Why is it that black people are expected to rally behind other groups? And then if it's not there and it's clear, then these other groups come out to attack us and say, wow, you guys don't know any better, this, that, and the third.
You know why? I've got 2 reasons why. First of all, people assume because black people are always suffering and going through things, we should automatically, we know how it feels, so we should automatically be sitting and rising with people. Mm-hmm. Secondly, black people are too damn fast because we've suffered as well. Because we've suffered as well, are too quick to show up for other people. Mm-hmm. Jimmy, so it's expectation placed on us because we're sufferers. Apparently, we're experts at this. And the other one is because we say we're sufferers, we too want to show up for other people.
Yeah. We could literally end it right there because if we wanted to, because that's actually it. 100%.
Yeah.
Like, I think that's exactly what it is. Like, you guys are experts in being at the bottom of the totem pole. So you guys should know from experience how it feels. Stick up for us, you know what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. But why is it that we feel as though, a lot of the time anyway, that the feeling is not reciprocal though?
Because I feel like, because it isn't though. The feeling is not reciprocal. Even like what I was talking to the 90s baby about yesterday, when so basically they had like a listener from Dublin call in to show and stuff. And then the person was saying about how, like, because of what's happened, I think a young girl was killed or something like that. Mm-hmm. So basically, all the Irish people basically want foreigners out. Mm-hmm. So Philip was like, oh, does that include, like, black Irish people that obviously were born there, blah, blah, blah. Like, yeah, everybody. Because the thing is, whenever stuff happens to other groups, they want black people to join them because, like, oh, you guys know how it is, blah, blah. But when things happen to us, they separate themselves because, like, oh, that's you guys' problem. They can't relate. Mm. So unfortunately, they separate themselves from us, and we don't really ask. And because we don't gatekeep enough, that's why we let people enjoy every part of what makes us beautiful. Yeah. And then when it comes to our sufferings, we don't hold them to account, because even if they don't show up, that's cool. But then moving forward, then we should keep you to the side because you didn't show up for us that time. But we've got what's it called? Like memory, like Dory from Van Nero. So we let people back in our circle again, and it's just like a cycle of it.
Do you feel like if you were to look, again, this is not trying to, talk about our struggles all the time, like people like to say, but in reality, black people obviously are going through certain things on a day-to-day. Mm-hmm. Do you feel like if people really cared, we would feel much more of other people's presence in our struggles on a day-to-day?
As in, like, what do you mean?
Like, for example, something happens over in, Palestine or in China or somewhere. Yeah. And then people start talking.
Yeah.
One would argue that black people experience those things on a day-to-day, but nobody is talking.
Oh, we do.
This is it. So really, it's kind of, when people, especially black people, I hear them say certain things like, oh, you know what, injustice is injustice. We ought to find the commonalities there, fight for them, this and the third. But in the ample opportunity on a day-to-day that they could do something for us, it never happens. Surely it's a logical approach to be like, cool, yes, we're going to help over there, this and the third, where we can. But resource-wise, and mental health-wise, and effort and money-wise, I think it's best for our struggle, which is every day.
Yeah, but you know what is, I don't feel like we don't acknowledge our struggles every day, though. That's why non-black struggles are the ones that go viral. The only times black stuff, things to do with black people has gone viral is if it's like, what I can think about is Chris Cabba, Mark Duggan, the George Floyd killings, Breonna Taylor. But how many of injustices happen regularly? Like regularly. So if we don't pay, we don't acknowledge that. So that's why we don't, so we don't hold people to the standard of you know, stepping in for us. That's
Morning.
Good point. Good morning.
Morning.
Hello. I didn't know you was bringing this to the forefront. Esther, you summed it up well. To be honest, I echo those same sentiments that you said.
Yeah.
All I would just like to add is, I can't lie. Me, sometimes, even though I said in the chat, we live in extremes. But I feel like for us now, we need to live in the extremes as black people. And I feel like, sorry, but I feel like we should be selfish. I think we need to move selfishly. I'm not gonna rush to anybody's aid because the aid we don't get the same treatment. And I feel like I need to operate in that way, or else we're not gonna sustain ourselves. Rushing to everybody's aid and we just get scraps. And it's funny how they want us to rally, and then when we don't, we're now looked on as we're the bad guys. But then when we ask you to acknowledge certain facts, you don't want to acknowledge it. So I don't even get them. Like, I don't even understand. You don't even acknowledge that there's there's racism in Britain, but yet you want us to rally around certain issues and stuff. I'm over it. I feel like we need to be more selfish. There 100% needs to be more gatekeeping. We don't do that enough. And we won't be called to all these things. We would not be called. Let's think about ourselves, get ourselves in-house in order, and just close off the borders. And then then maybe if I have got anything left to give, then I can give. But I'm sorry, but charity begins at home at this point. I'm tired of all these other groups just profiting and then have the audacity to come, like the fact that Juliana, whatever her name from The Good Wife, had the audacity to speak like that and tell us what we anyway that pissed me off that day. That really pissed me off that day. I just think it's time for us to just think about ourselves. I'm sorry. We can't be attending to other people's. There are people out here who are attending to other people's what's going on, and I know there's even one person in particular I follow. She's actually Congolese. I ain't seen her post not a damn thing about Congo, but she can post about everything else. And I'm thinking, are you okay? I even had to remove her because I was thinking, what kind of life is that? Are you sick? Your own country of origin. And you are posting about every other thing but that. No, I'm sorry, but that to me is that's wild behavior to me. But I've seen that. Of course, I've seen that a lot, where a lot of things are happening in your own backyard, and you don't want to post about that, but you're shouting your rooftops about everything else.
But Christy,
anyway.
what would you say to those people who say, yeah, but when white people do help, you say we don't want any white saviors?
I don't want any white saviors. I actually don't, because they don't come with a good intention. So I don't want it, because when they come with their white savior complex, then we now owe them something. We should be grateful for the crumbs that they gave us. So no, I don't want no white saviors. No, I actually don't. I personally don't. I don't look for allyship. I don't look for white saviors. I don't look for that. That's not me personally. So I'm not looking for them for any help. We need to help ourselves. Sorry, the favorite saying, we ain't got no friends out here, and we don't. But obviously people want to do the whole kumbaya, my lords, and let's extend,
Yeah, my lord.
let's extend, let's extend, let's extend the love. No, I'm not about that. I'm not about that, sorry. Until we sort ourselves out, then I don't see why we need to be overextending ourselves for anything. Black people in America are even a case in point. They are still the bottom, but they are looked at any given point. They're looked at to do the certain things, but they are still the bottom. It don't make sense.
What about because obviously we talk about black people being so influential, right, in just all areas of life. What about the fact that, okay, cool, if black people do rally behind us, maybe we'll get a lot more awareness and visibility to our particular struggles. Maybe that's the reason why they want black people to kind of be behind their kind of plight. Would that be a fair enough reason?
No, but that's insidious to me because you're using us. But when our actual pain is being displayed, you're not empathetic to that. So to me, you're even using us. So you know what we're capable of. You know what we do, and you want to tap into that. But yet, at the time when actually you need to make and help or do anything, you don't. So because we're obviously at the forefront of culture, obviously we can't help that we're wavy people. We're 100% wavy. We are at the forefront of a lot of things, and obviously it just is what it is.
Yeah,
it is what it is. So obviously they can't help but do that. They can't help but want to use that. But at the same time, it's for us to understand that no, you can't use us. But anyway, we love to do the open arms thing. So I feel like we're also the problem. We also want to seek validation from all these outside races also. So we got plenty of in issues that we need to sort out ourselves. And until we do that, it's hard to dictate anything, and that's the problem. That's why I say we need to concentrate on ourselves and concentrate on actually working within us and making us better. And then I feel like the behavior would be corrected. But until then, they're going to be doing the same thing. And we're going to keep on falling for the same thing.
All right, Christy, one last question. I'm going to ask everyone in the room as well, right? But do you feel as though white supremacy is kind of the cause of most of these issues worldwide, globally? Christy?
Yes. No, obviously it's set a precedent.
Okay.
So because it's literally set a precedent across the world. So because of that, we are viewed a certain way. And I think when we have the topic about how do we care about how we're viewed and stuff like that, unfortunately, our PR is in the mud.
Yeah, but what I'm trying to say is, like, do you feel like white supremacy is somewhat behind all of this? Is white supremacy benefiting from all of these conflicts and all these issues worldwide? Because if
100% they are.
Okay, cool. So if that's the case, do you feel like it's in their interest for us to have this divisive thought where it's like, cool, I'm gonna stay over here, you guys stay over there, you guys stay over there, and then try and fight solo and get beat every single time because we haven't formed one, like, united front to fight our common enemy?
Yeah, but as in when you say come together, who are we coming together with?
With every other oppressed group that sees white supremacy as their
enemy. But some other oppressed groups don't see white supremacy as the enemy, and that's also an issue.
Yeah, but
they even though they are the enemy, they don't see them as that. So when we're now coming together, they view us like we're in the dirt. So, and that's the issue.
Oh, so you're basically
saying some of those oppressed people are also oblivious to the fact that white supremacy is your enemy, not black people.
Okay.
But they view us in a way like they're better than us.
Okay.
So that's also the issue, and that's why I can't come together with them.
All right, I hear you, Christy. Thank you very much for your call, man.
Thanks, Christy.
Appreciate it.
I'll leave it. Thank you. Bye.
All right, people. So we have wonderful guest hosts. You know what I'm saying? We've got family in the room.
Sure do.
Yeah, you know what? Introduce yourselves, man. The legend that is Isaac.
He decided to join us today.
Finally.
We appreciate your presence.
Thank you. I appreciate you guys as well, man. It's my favourite show. So.
Oh, thank you.
Thank you. Well, was we at the top of your wrap-up? Spotify thing?
I don't. I'm YouTube. You lot.
Okay. Oh, look at that.
I like visuals, man. So YouTube every day, but Spotify. I apologize. Cool. But you still got my 5 stars, so
love that.
Nice.
And our babe, man, you look absolutely gorgeous.
Thank you. Thank you
for coming back.
Yes, thank you for coming back.
How are you today?
I'm good. Feeling a little bit like something's brewing.
Like a cold, right? Is that what you mean? Yeah, my friend's been acting funny all week.
Everyone's getting this, you know.
I can't get it.
It's that time.
I can't. So I need to be dehydrated.
Yeah.
So I'm looking at that bottle of water.
Do you want some?
Please.
Okay, you can have them.
May I recommend the plant-based diet?
Ugh.
The thing is, I actually am, which is why I'm not like totally down.
Oh, you're vegan?
I'm not vegan, but I usually do like right now. So since the last time I've been doing plant-based, I usually do it throughout. So beginning of December
that was 2 weeks ago.
What was it?
Since the last time, right?
Yeah, since the last
2-3 weeks. Well, it's not enough to kick in.
Well, see, a lot happens in that time.
Do you know what? Fair, because I've still been eating meat since that time.
But I don't eat meat, so I said the last time I don't eat meat.
Yeah, that's true.
Okay, cool.
That's so funny, man.
Well, you guys obviously know the topic, right, and everything, right? But I wanted to ask you guys the same question I asked Christy, right? Most people would say white supremacy is behind a lot of the issues in the world, right?
Yeah.
Be it China, be it Congo, be it somewhere in America, the UK, whatever it may be.
Yeah.
Would it not be in their interest for us to kind of have this divisive thought where it's like, you know what, black people, let's care about ourselves. Yes, we haven't been shown love from other oppressed groups, but let's care about ourselves. That kind of benefits the power structure.
I think that's a good idea, but the people ahead of us, they like too much money. So until someone probably our age or our generation gets in charge, it's not going to work. I don't believe so, because all these Ghanaians, they go there, they do what they have to do for their family, and then that's it. Then someone else comes on for their family, that's it. But they all know each other. They all went to the same uni.
Yeah, exactly.
They're all friends.
Yeah.
So they're just passing the job on to each other. So until someone gets to that position from our generation, I don't see it happening now.
Do you feel like that person that can change things needs to come from abroad? Or do you feel like they need to be from back home?
Probably abroad. Okay. I can see someone from abroad doing it. Because obviously in Ghana, for example, the mentality there for me is like a lot of people have come from a poor background, especially if you live in Ghana like now. So I don't know, it's just like I don't see them doing for the black community. I think they just want to do literally for themselves because of where they've come from. They don't see anything else, but just want to make money for themselves.
So you're basically saying it's even worse than we think. So we've got a situation where it's like other oppressed groups, like let's just say black and I don't know, a Muslim demographic, right, are not banding together. But even within the blacks, right, we've also got a smaller group that's basically trying to benefit from all the blacks not even being unified.
100%.
Yeah, because that's kind of like in Nigeria, like tribalism is a big thing. It's like whenever the elections are coming up, it's not a thing of this political party and this political party. It's that this Yoruba person is going to do for Yoruba people, this Hausa person is going to do for Hausa people, this Igbo person. So even within ourselves, unfortunately, we can't get that divide. But I agree with Isaac. I think the root of it is white supremacy because unfortunately, like, it's been passed to these people. So it's just a bunch of old fools just chilling there, making a mess of the country. And I really do believe it will take a younger generation. I don't necessarily know if it's going to be from here. Because I think if it's someone from abroad, it would have to be someone who maybe came to study abroad. Okay. But it's still very in tune with what happens back home kind of thing. So they're kind of like you're drawing from the different skills and different life experiences you've seen outside of our culture, our country and stuff. But unfortunately though, we're as good as done with if we're relying on the older people that are there. They're the ones who don't want to leave these roles where they're president for 20 years and then they want to pass it down to their grandkids. Do you get me? Like they see it as a family, as a monarchy kind of thing. So unfortunately, I do think like white supremacy is the root cause. But I think unfortunately black people have been doing white people's jobs. They've carried on doing their bidding. sadly. Got a question. How did Gaddafi's Pan-Africanism work in this separatist scenario?
I mean, it depends on the perspective you're coming from, though, because as much as Gaddafi was Pan-African in what he was saying and stuff, I think he was very Pan-Arab as well. He wanted to unify, well, let me not say unify the Arab world, but he identified as an Arab. And I think some of that came across in how he did things as well. Granted, he definitely was about a unified Africa, but yeah, I get it, man. I get why you would say that, man. But at the same time, one could ask, what was really the benefit if still coming together as African state, white supremacy was able to get him out of there, right? What sort of chance do we stand if we even come together, right? I guess amongst ourselves and not with the rest of the world, if that makes sense. Because obviously, like I'm assuming Von's basically saying, Gaddafi was like, cool, let's be unified Africa, let's be stronger, and let's fight the rest of the world who's trying to oppose us, right, and our freedom. But that still got him killed. You know what I'm saying?
By who?
By you know the US.
Exactly. Because it favors them for us not to be one and together, for us not to band together. It's because they still benefit from all these countries in different ways. So for them, they don't want to see us unified. They don't want to see us working together. They don't want to see all the African countries coming together to actually, you know, do what it is they need to do. They know.
Yeah. They know the power that black people have.
This is it. Yeah.
So they don't want us.
Yeah.
they don't want us to be together. So they'll do anything, literally, to divide us. And all it takes is one country, one small African country, to not be part of. And then it's like, if this guy goes for the money, they will offer him money. Like what they do to Ghana, Chinese people will come and just, they will offer you money for something, like literally, and then you're just, it's like, it's ridiculous, man.
Yeah, the Chinese and Lebanese in Nigeria are wild. They're taking over.
Everywhere, I guess, even, to be fair.
It's mad. You go to, like, every time I go to Ghana, you can just, like, Chinese people are speaking Tree, bro. Like, I can't, it's the worst. It's so frustrating when I see it. It just gets worse and worse every time you go.
Question, why is that frustrating?
Because you know what they're coming there for. They literally want to take over. So they're not coming to be part of it and help us grow. They eventually just want to take over.
So it's because of their intentions.
Yeah, the intentions behind it.
As opposed to them learning a new language.
Yeah. Right. They want to learn the language so they can finish even more.
All right.
Do you guys feel like, okay, cool, we then as Africans, as black people, need to say, you know what, let's not just unify amongst ourselves, but with the rest of other oppressed groups? Or do you see it as, like Christy was saying, let's focus on self and perfect our unification first? Because like I guess, I think anyway, Yvonne's kind of intimating that even with the whole unified Africa, that was probably the best defense that we had, right? And hence, you know, Gaddafi and I guess other people who were about, you know, Pan-Africa ideology and whatnot. But it's still not enough. You know what I'm saying? It was good. It did something. It did get certain presidents together and then trying to think in some particular type of way. Like even today, Kenya, talking about, what do you call it? Not needing visas for any African nation to come, to, you know, to go to Kenya. But like, in terms of the rest of the world, is that the approach that black people need to have?
I think that would be very helpful, to be honest. Because it's like even the whole like ECOWAS. I think as a whole African nation, I feel like we should all be able to go in and out of each other's countries without having to pay between £80 to £300 for a visa. Like during just post-COVID, to go to Nigeria at one point, your visa was literally an arm and a leg. Like it was crazy. So yeah, I think we do need to work on ourselves. It's just that if something happens on the plane, they say you have to literally sort yourself out before anyone else. So I do think we need to unify together first and see what we can do. But I think obviously when you go back to like colonization and all of these things, I think there's obviously an element there of insecurity around, can we actually do this? So some people feel like, yeah, we can, but there's also a lot of people that probably don't feel like that because they're still programmed by what has happened, which is, I understand, like your mind has been restructured to think that you're not strong enough to stand on your own.
Yeah.
And what the potential risks are and stuff like that. So, but I do think, as Africa together, because even with ECOWAS, not all the West African countries are even involved.
No.
So I think, I definitely think there needs to be some sort of unity there.
What role do you guys think the media plays in keeping us divided?
Big one. There's a lot of sparks in there. I feel like all my dissertations are around what the media says, actually, to be fair. There's a lot, like the terminologies they use, the language that they use. It's a lot to reprogram one's mind, for sure. And without knowledge, you're literally, you don't know nothing.
Yep.
So literally it's knowledge that, the just become righteous in that sense. So I think they play a lot. I just don't watch the news, to be honest. Like I take what I need to take. But it plays a lot. But once again, it's funded. There's money behind it. Work has to be done.
Do you think it would be more like wise for us to kind of stop seeing it, within reason, of course, stop seeing it as all black people just come together? Because we know, especially like you were saying, Isaac, right? People in positions of power, the presidents of our countries, are kind of just doing white supremacy's bidding. So if we kind of like have that confused approach to things where it's like, cool, because you're black, automatically you must relate to our struggle. When the reality is, we're not all one group. We don't all see things the same. Like you said, people prioritize their families. Just take all the money, put the money in banks abroad. You know what I'm saying? Don't benefit the country, nothing of the sort. And like you said, even from different political parties, they still all went to school together. It's like a secret group that all of them are part of, and all of them kind of just aim to just take advantage of the people. You know what I'm saying? So would the approach be better for us to say, you know what? The skin thing needs to be secondary. It needs to be about what your actual values are and how you see us as black people, but also other oppressed groups in the world. Is that the mistake that we've been doing for so long?
I think it needs to be a case of not looking to all black people to band together to do something. Because I think that actually what that does, that wastes time. I think it just needs to be the people who want to come together and get it done. Because when we wait for, do you know what I mean? Say you want to do something and we're thinking, oh yeah, but that black person's not going to support me, that black person's not going to support me. It puts you off from doing it because you're thinking, I don't have the support I need. But then there were people who are ready to get things done the way you are. And I think that's what it really needs to be. It needs to be the people who are not going to care about the littlest things, about whether you're mixed race or whether you're fully black or whether you're Ghanaian or whether you're not. Like, it just needs to be people who can look at the bigger vision, look at the bigger goal and get things done.
Some of those people are white.
Men within black circle. But yeah, that's another thing, boy. That's a point. That is a point. Because I love the example of Dr. Umar and his school situation.
There you go.
And wanting to use black builders and black everything, and it was taking forever. We got some Polish guys in there, it was done.
And that's
done in a week.
And that's the problem as well. You want to do things, you want to help black people to be able to do things, but they just don't deliver.
Yeah.
For some reason, there's just something that always stops them from doing it, and it always comes down to greed. They will take the money before they do the job.
And then they'll do the job mediocre.
And then
if they do it.
Then they won't do the job properly. Don't get me wrong, some white people do it as well, but the ones that obviously in London that we are around, because I come from a construction background, they get the job done. Whatever, if they tell you 3 weeks, 2.5 weeks, the job is done.
That was done.
A black person,
you will stay there.
Listen,
you will actually wait there.
Literally. So it's just
like, I'm not against using white non-blacks to get black matters done. As long as obviously it's like this might sound wild, but as long as we let them know, hey, This is the agenda.
Yeah.
This is not like an overthrow the power type of situation. I'm actually not opposed to reaching black goals using white resources. I'm not opposed to it.
Good point.
No.
Before we wrap up here, I do want to ask this question. Do you feel like perhaps because black people go through certain struggles every day, right, they may not be perceived as needing immediate attention because we're resilient enough? You know what I'm saying? It's kind of like if you had, like, I don't know, a small leaky pipe somewhere compared to if your ceiling caved in. If the guy down the street, ceiling caved in now, everyone rushes there. But your leaky pipe's like, cool, yeah, we can wait till the weekend. You know what I'm saying? Do you feel like that's maybe the approach with regards to black people? Because it's not like... Let me not even say that.
Yeah, but that it's just that whole resilience thing. I think, who told you that we are resilient?
Yeah.
You put that upon us that we are, and so people have made themselves believe that they have to be.
Yeah.
Which is why there is so many campaigns that have to support black people to actually change the narrative, like the 5 more.
Yeah, 5 times more.
I mean, I love that. Honestly, they need all the funding that life can give.
Yeah.
Because why should a black woman's pain be ignored? Because apparently she's resilient.
She can deal with it. Do you know how mad that is?
What makes you think that she can deal with it?
Because they see us as lab rats. They don't, from slavery time where a lot of pain's been inflicted on black people and stuff, like it speaks to what they think our life, what the value of our lives are. And it's that where it's been placed on us that we are resilient, we are strong. That's why I say people, I'm not strong. I'm not a strong girl. Like, do you get me? It's too much. Because when you think about it, like, look at how it is that black people glorify struggle. If something if someone gets to have something without struggle present, we automatically feel like it's not as valuable because they did not fight tooth and nail and nearly died for their lives, even though all they wanted to do was get lunch. Why must there be struggle present in everything? We glorify struggle so much, but I feel like us glorifying struggle is doing the white man's job, because this is all part of it. This is all part of the narrative of, you know, you guys are resilient and you're strong and you can do it and you can da-da-da-da. Like, even like the terminology that's used for us still speaks to some kind of like some form of strength, whether it's angry black man or we're sassy or whatever it is still speaks to the fact that we're kind of strong characters. And people aren't. And unfortunately, that we've carried that mindset into our own community, where then when someone needs help and needs help with stuff, they're not able to be vulnerable because you feel like you automatically see it as weak, where crying is weak, and it's dangerous. All that stuff is dangerous and is literally doing the white man's job.
It's a learned behaviour though. Like, we've seen it in the high struggle. We've seen it with Mandela. We've seen it with Lumumba. We've seen it with all of these people. So if you've seen it with those important figures, then you're going to learn that behaviour and think that that's okay. Because they struggled to get to the place of where they got there. He went in prison for how many years before freedom? You know, he fought this long before being assassinated. So, yeah, it's learnt behaviour.
It's crazy. It's sad.
Maybe it is, but at the same time, one could say, but our very existence is proof that we are resilient. Because our groups have been wiped off the face of the planet.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, but that's fair though. I don't feel like we have to move forward. We can be quote unquote strong or resilient without us having to make it in everything. Like, the way we glorify struggle is so unhealthy. Like, it's like we have to fight tooth and nail for everything. Sometimes just have things at ease. And that's the problem. So, yes, our existence speaks to our resilience, but does resilience have to be present in every single thing we do? Do you get what I mean? Because unfortunately, the issue is that when people go for a hard time, they go for a hard time, yes, but the issue is that when someone goes for a hard time and they're expressing that it's a hard time, we don't let them express that it's a hard time. We just say, oh, you know, just suck it up, or you know, it happens to the best of us, or that's just life. Yes, that might just be life. However, people still have a right to express that this is tough on them, this is hard on them. And we see it literally trickles down all the way down to family. It trickles all the way down. That's why men aren't crying these days. Because again, you have to be strong, you have to be resilient. Please. Everyone be a soft babe.
I feel like we can kind of wrap up there, to be fair. Yeah.
Big up, Christy. That was a good topic, good question. Let's get into our next headlines.
All right, guys. So our next headline, trigger warning here, and this takes us to the Israel-Palestine conflict. And apparently, according to the IDF, I shouldn't say apparently, but the IDF has announced yesterday that Gal Meir Eisenkot, who is the son of an Israeli government minister, has been killed in northern Gaza. So the Master Sergeant Gal Meir Eisenkot, who's 25, was a combat soldier in the 551st Reserve Commando Brigade's 699th Battalion, and he died, unfortunately, in the battle. His father was the Chief of the General Staff of the IDF from February 2015 to January of 2018 and served in the military for more than 4 decades. Gadi Eisenkot joined the Israeli Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu's wartime cabinet as a minister without portfolio in the wake of Hamas's October 7th attack. He was elected to the Knesset in 2022 and is a member of the Benny Gantz National Unity Party. So yeah, man, Netanyahu expressed his condolences, and obviously it's all over the place on Twitter and things of that nature, basically bigging up his son and offering the condolences to this minister. Next headline takes us to West Africa, where Laurie was chatting about ECOWAS earlier. And West Africa's top court on yesterday, rejected a request by Niger's junta for lifting a coup-related sanction imposed by its neighbours, ruling that the junta is unconstitutional and therefore lacks the authority to make such a request. Imagine. They didn't even reject the situation itself, just rejected the request. Anyway, following the July coup that toppled Niger's president Mohamed Bazoum, the West African regional bloc, ECOWAS, imposed sanctions including shutting borders with the member country, suspending financial transactions and freezing Niger's assets. Neighbouring Nigeria cut off power that supplied 70% of Niger's electricity. The de facto government of Niger and natural persons and legal entities challenged the sanctions at the ECOWAS Court of Justice in Abuja. They argued that they were causing severe hardships for Nigerians, including by curtailing supplies of food and medicine. Niger's coup leaders asked for a provisional halt to the sanctions pending a final judgment on the issue. Delivering the ruling yesterday, the Justice Dupe Atoki called Niger's junta the result of an unconstitutional change of government and said that it's not recognised as a member state of the regional bloc. The judge also said that, therefore, to the extent that a request for provisional measures in the name of Niger has been brought by an unconstitutional and unrecognised government, it is inadmissible. And the last headline takes us to Sierra Leone, where I think the other day was talking about the attempted coup that failed. Long story short, they buried 18 members of the security forces that were killed during that attempt on November the 26th. 16 soldiers, a police officer and a prison guard were buried in a military cemetery in Freetown. The burial followed a funeral ceremony at the army headquarters in the presence of the President Bio, the victims' families, religious representatives, the army and the police. Hundreds of people lined the path leading to the cemetery to pay tribute to the 18 security agents who were killed during the events of November 26. The president said, "Today we are united in grief. We stand here not as mourners, but also as bearers of a sacred duty, a solemn responsibility to honour our fallen comrades. We are gathered here today under the weight of immense grief to honour our brave soldiers and police officers who lost their lives defending our democracy." So yeah, man, big up the people of Sierra Leone. And that's it for the headlines. Time to pay the bills.
All right, let's get into some word on road.
Before we do that, let's read out the results of the poll.
Oh, yes, please.
The question was, why are black people expected to rally behind other groups? 53% say we need to focus on ourselves. 31% say blackness is associated with struggle. And 15% say supporting others will help us.
Mm.
Okay, Mr. Diddy. I don't think he goes by love anymore. I don't think love lives here anymore. I think he's done with the love situation. Basically, right. So trigger warning on this. Trigger warning of sexual assault. So basically, he's basically been sued again by a woman, and essentially, he's being sued. Him and someone else who was the president of Bad Boy Record, Harvey Pierre. Don't know if that rings a bell to anybody. But basically, essentially, they're being sued for gang raping the 17-year-old, essentially, in 2003. So this is like the fourth sexual assault allegation against this man. And so basically the lawsuit is saying that they gave her a lot of drugs, like copious amounts of drugs and alcohol, and that he raped her in the bathroom and she was in and out of consciousness, and he watched somebody else rape her as well, basically. It's another document that's got trigger warning on the front page of it all. But Diddy, in all his things that he's going through, decided to put a message out, man. Message out. He says, enough is enough. In bold and caps. Enough is enough, he says. For the last couple of weeks, I have sat silently and watched people try to assassinate my character, destroy my reputation and my legacy. Sickening allegations have been made against me by individuals looking for a quick payday. Let me be absolutely clear. I did not do any of the awful things being alleged. I will fight for my name, my family, and for the truth. Signed, Sean Diddy Combs. There's no love in there. I suppose he's been going by Love for the past.
Yeah, I was going to say, what name is he fighting for?
It was Sean Love at one point, I think, or Love, whatever it was. Well, he's now back to what he was. I don't know. I think it's interesting. It's interesting anyway. But I'll keep an eye on all of that stuff again, as I've said. It's a civil lawsuit. So essentially, people might wonder, why is that the case? Because remember there was a law that allowed people that had been abused, and that law was expiring, and that's when Cassie basically made the claim before, blah, blah, blah. Well, apparently this lawsuit is under the Victims of Gender-Motivated Violence Act, which is still a New York legislation, and it offers a 2-year window for civil claims that fell outside of the statute of limitations for incidents that happened in the 5 boroughs, basically. So this one expires the 1st of March 2025. So it might be a long 2 years for him if allegedly he has been up to the things that he's been up to. Well, speaking of things that he's been up to, 50 Cent is adamant that he's going to be the one to document this. So apparently
he's trying to make money off everyone.
Do you know what I mean? So basically, I was saying how I feel as though it feels a bit distasteful the way 50 Cent is going about it. Because basically he's saying that in his documentary, let me get his, because you know he loves to tweet, that man. Let me get the tweet up. So he said, so yesterday he posted a video, right, of a clip of the, what's it called? It was a video, right? It was a video, and it basically, I guess it's maybe like a snippet from the documentary. He's working overtime on this matter. And essentially, the person that's speaking in the video is a former Bad Boy employee, right? Again, trigger warning. And the guy is basically saying how the play that back then with Diddy and women and all that kind of stuff was that they would go to clubs, right? And they will have 2 separate batches of drinks. They would have normal drinks that are fine. Then they'll have drinks that have been laced with like drugs and stuff. And essentially everyone knew not to touch those drinks because those drinks was for the girls. So this guy was basically saying how the girls will be drinking the drinks and whatever, be told to have those drinks, whatever. Obviously the girls not knowing there's anything in the drinks. And then he said at some point you will see them all kind of like delirious and kind of like in and out of consciousness essentially. So he was like, oh, you see them all like sleeping and their mouth open and then they pop Molly in the mouth. This is what the guy was saying, basically. And then in there, he had snippets. When you edit them TikTok reels kind of vibe. Of Rick Ross's songs. Talking about,
You don't even know.
Okay, like yep, that's the song. And Diddy's there and all sorts. So that's that I'm hearing that apparently 50 and Diddy and Rick Ross are going at it and whatnot. But yeah, that's how Rick Ross was tied into this whole mess. But you know what it is with 50? Like I get. So basically, he's a source close to him, and he actually tweeted this as well, has said that all the proceeds from the documentary is going to go to the victims of rape and sexual assault. Okay. But I just feel as though you're still using it for tea. Like, because you got this whole thing with Diddy that you do not like this man and whatnot, it's like you're making light of something that's meant to be very serious. And yeah, I get that, the story has to be told and blah, 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 whatever else. But the way he's going about it doesn't feel very respectful to the people that these assaults allegedly happened to, if that makes sense. Furthermore, all them ex-employees that are standing up now, everyone's got a damn story to say about Diddy, it makes you look bad too. And quite honestly, if that man ends up in jail, some people need to end up in jail with him too. Similar to the R. Kelly situation. Because users were enabling. And I understand the power dynamics between Diddy and these employees. I understand that. I understand, you know, people didn't have opportunities and and they might have lost their jobs and stuff like that. But that kind of stuff, if I was ever in a situation like that where I was seeing all these things happen, no amount of money is making me come out years after because that person's about to get cancelled to relay these stories. Because you look like a piece of shit too. I'm judging you the same way I'm judging Diddy. Yes, Diddy did the acts and whatnot, but you were there enabling all of this foolishness. You were there when he was allegedly beating up women. You were there when he was allegedly assaulting these women. You were there when he was allegedly drugging these women. And then you think that you're going to come back years later now and sit down in front of Curtis Jackson's camera and tell us a story and think we're going to be like, oh, thank you for giving us that tea. You're a piece of shit too. So that's just where I stand on this whole matter. But we'll see anyway when said documentary is going to come out. Personally, I feel like Diddy's Enough is Enough should have been directed at 50 Cent. Because he's had his foot on his neck since all of this.
He's a bully, man.
He's a bully.
50's
he's a bully.
Big time.
He's a big time bully.
And he loves it.
And he knows it. And I feel like he loves that people know that.
You can't do nothing to him.
Nothing.
At the moment, he's clean as well.
That's it.
So he just does whatever he wants.
He does whatever he wants. But I hope it's clean. Because imagine doing all of this and someone hits you with this
I hope he's clean. Oh my God. If this guy...
If someone hits him with a this you...
I was going to say the N-word, but I don't want to pay £2.50. If this
it's
guy...
£5.
It's £5.
It's cost of living. But, no, if any... No, I mean, the way 50 goes hard, he can never, ever have a scandal. He will have to be finished twice.
Is he really a bully, though?
Yeah, man. What he did to Tierra Marie he was bullying her. He bullied her.
All right, fair enough. But in this scenario,
yeah,
how? Because
you're taunting somebody knowing that this is the situation. Yes, Diddy's a piece of shit.
What did he do to 50?
I don't know. I actually don't know the history of this.
What did he do to 50?
What did who do to 50?
Diddy.
I think went off. Is that normal?
I don't remember.
Right, the thing went off.
Oh, yeah, it's gone off. Oh, this one is off.
Or is that on your end as well? I never
got glitched.
It's back on there.
It's frozen. As in the whole live stream, it's frozen.
I can still hear you guys well, but...
Oh, not Diddy. When these people are working, boy. Yeah, I don't know what the history is.
You all will have to continue just hearing the audio until it
fixes up in it, yeah.
I don't know what happened. But apparently, the streets are saying that Diddy slept with 50's ex.
Oh, yeah, he did. I knew that.
Oh,
that's why all of this is about?
Oh, so that's why 50 is reacting.
Yeah.
Yeah, but 50... First of all, 50's never with women anymore anyway.
Apparently, she was just apparently men have a code.
Clearly. They think where women are properties. That's crazy. This is what he's doing all of this for.
Yes.
Jason Derulo was with one of his girls.
How close were they? 50 and Diddy.
Because I heard they've always beefed here and there anyway. So one does that, like... I don't know, man. Anyways, this is where the men of... This is what's happening in the streets.
Continue talking,
yeah? Okay. Yeah. But anyways, I will let you guys know when the documentary comes out and all that kind of stuff. But only with that saying there anyway, if what they said about Diddy is true, where basically he's able to, you know, move people onto other pastures. I'm not you people that are really just coming there talking about him like that. Boy, oh boy. Anyway. But in very sad news though, Forest Whitaker, do you guys know who that is? The actor.
Mm-hmm.
His ex-wife passed away, man. Keisha Nash-Whitaker. She's aged 51. She passed away, I think on Thursday. Her daughter posted on Thursday. And she's had years-long battle with anorexia, man. That's some serious things. So
was she, you know, somebody? Was she an actor? Was she?
I'm not sure.
I'm trying to think if we've seen her somewhere. That's why.
Yeah, so you would have seen her like you would have seen her. What's it called? Like red carpets and movement and stuff like that. They were together since 1996 until 2018. Yeah, she was an actor and a producer, and she was married to Thingy. So some of the films that she was in. Oh, apparently she was Miss Universe and all. Okay, girl.
Okay, first.
Oh, okay, Forest. But she was in a film called Proud, another film called Kasim, The Dream, and a show I think called Who You Wearing or something like that. But yeah, so apparently she was like some kind of she's been battling some intestinal problems for a while. But her daughter, one of her daughters, they've got 2 kids, so one of her daughters posted on Instagram and said, "Goodbye, mummy. I love you forever and beyond. The most beautiful woman in the world. Thank you for teaching me every single thing I know. I'll see you in my dreams and I'll feel you in my heart." It's very sad news, man. Very, very sad news. I saw a tweet yesterday and this girl was saying how she lost her dad. She lost both her parents, but I think she recently lost her dad. And she was saying how basically she had a dream where her dad told her to check the oil in her car. And she went and checked the oil in her car and it was low. And I just thought that was so sweet. Because she was saying how she doesn't know much about cars and she barely uses her car anyway. But she was just like, it was just so sweet that her dad appeared to her in a dream saying, check the oil in your car. And people were just doing hella memes. Like her dad thinking, oh, this girl's too old, she's not listening kind of thing. But it was such a wholesome, really, really sweet tweet. But love to her, man. ITV are allegedly on their bullshit, man. And the employees over there are sick of it. So just a reminder, Philip Schofield, the man who was there for many, 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 many years, he didn't get fired, did he quit? I feel like he kind of quit. He saved face, didn't he?
Yeah,
he kind of stepped down. Took Holly Willoughby's career with him. Actually, no. That man tried to kill her. Remember she got a death threat?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, so to be fair, that's why she left, actually. Yeah, because that was wild. But yeah, basically, so there's been a report, there's been a whole investigational thing going into his whole situation, because why he stepped down was because it came out that he was dating, well, he had an affair, because he was a married man. Had an affair with a younger colleague, some younger boy that was an intern of sorts at the time. He was married. I don't know if he's still married. He's not married. Has he been married since he came out as gay?
Yeah.
I think
He's
still married.
Yeah, he's still married, but I haven't seen anything around
a divorce and stuff.
No, but obviously I also don't watch the news, so
yeah, better woman than me, boy. Anyways, so
I'm not sure if they're together, but I don't know.
Yeah, probably separated. Yeah. So basically, the ITV employees are shy for the reports, essentially. And the whole report was meant to, kind of just investigate the whole situation and blah, blah. And the report is claiming that only one person, the entire ITV place, knew about it. Only one person allegedly knew about Philip Schofield's foolishness.
After they see this guy probably holding hands with this little boy walking around. Nonsense.
Maybe that's the one person that was booking the guy Uber. Because apparently when he was out here linking Philip, doing up links, Netflix and chills and whatnot, the night before, he was getting a separate Uber into work. I feel like on ITV's account probably anyway. Maybe that one person is the one person that knew where Philip Schofield's house was and to bring the guy. It's just stupid and foolishness, man. But yeah, the employees there are basically just saying that this is nonsense, man. But yeah, the report basically found that ITV did not cover up the relationship and that the station bosses had made considerable efforts to discover the truth in 2019. So 4 years before the affair. So we only knew about the affair this year, but apparently since 2019, the bosses have been working hard to uncover, to do a Sherlock Holmes on this man's foolishness, underage foolishness. Because was the guy of legal age?
See, that's what I think the debate is, because some people are saying he knew him from when he was a kid, like in primary school or something, right?
Yeah.
But the actual interactions was
happened
after.
when he was 18. And I struggle to believe stuff like that. I don't see how you peep somebody when they're very, very young and you're telling me you're sitting there waiting for the calendar to strike 18, then that's when you make a move. Because remember there was that picture as well that video even, actually, not picture, video of him and the little boy on a date.
Yep.
How old was the little boy?
A little boy. He should have been in school, and I know his parents never got a phone call and he was not in school that day. Like he was in secondary school, like in year 8 or something. And that was a video. And basically, Philip didn't realize they were basically in the background of someone else's video. And then when the person clocked, it was Philip. Like, oh, hi, Philip. He's out here all looking all shifty and shit. Yeah, why wouldn't you look shifty when you're a married man with kids on a date with a kid? Crazy, man. But anyways, that's what the investigation found. Obviously, you will find that because they don't want to get sued. So that makes sense. But anyways, that's all from me today. That's it. Enough mess for the week. Let's get into the People's Journal.
All right, people, welcome to the People's Journal, where I give you the news from an economics point of view, pardon me. First thing I want to talk about is the fact that the average 2-year mortgage rate has fallen now, below 6%. So, yeah, man, according to a particular financial institution, organization thing, basically, they've got a bunch of stats. They've averaged everything out, and right now it's 5.99%. So there are some brokers out there.
I thought it was gonna be.
Nah. It's just the same. No, but the thing is, though, I guess it kind of shows that there are some other brokers out there or other lenders out there that are offering decent rates. I think I've seen like 4.95% somewhere.
I think some people are doing 5.
Yeah, 5% I've seen. But they do come with product fees.
Yeah.
So you have to factor that into your overall, calculation for the 2 years. But at least, you know what, it's on a downward trajectory, man. So at least we can be thankful for that, man. We're still yet to see, I think it's next week it will happen, where the Bank of England come together to kind of decide on what they're going to do with the rates. I don't see them going down. Hopefully it just stays the same at least. But I think staying the same will at least give some confidence to lenders, you know what I'm saying? So hopefully this downward trajectory continues. Next thing I wanted to say is, who are you guys mobile phone providers?
O2.
Vodafone.
Why Vodafone?
I've just been with them for a long time.
But you're O2, innit?
Yes.
Okay. Well, long story short.
Who are you?
EE.
Sounds about Android.
There's a guy called Justin Gutman, and he's the former executive at Citizens Advice. And basically, long story short, he is suing the top mobile phone providers, man. So Vodafone, EE, 3, and O2.
It should be interesting.
He's been saying that they've all overcharged customers for phones.
Oh, of course.
Yeah, beyond the end of their contract.
So wait a minute. So if he's suing, is the money going to all of us?
Yes.
How is
He's
it?
seeking on behalf of 4.8 million people.
I should be a
Oh, so they're going to contact me like,
well,
when is the case going to be settled?
well,
Pick up Justin though.
O2 is saying they haven't even been contacted.
Oh,
EE is saying the claim is speculative.
No,
So this is very early. This is early days.
They need to hurry up, man.
Is that Justin? His name is Justin, right?
Justin Gutman.
Big up Justin Gutman.
But then wouldn't that be for the people who let their contract go on? So if you knew your contract was ending at a certain time and you changed it, you probably won't be a part.
Yeah, probably not. Yeah.
Well, then that means I'm not a part then.
I'm sure I've let it run.
Oh, so you're still on the same old...
So when my contract ends, I make sure that I'm put on the right tariff. I don't let it just go. So I won't pay for a phone longer than what I need to pay for it for.
Oh, okay.
Okay.
Yeah, man. So he's basically alleged that the UK's 4 biggest network operators and their parent companies did not reduce the amount that they charged customers once their minimum contract term ended. That's basically what he's saying, despite the fact that consumers had already paid for their mobile handsets. You know what I'm saying? Because obviously, I think now it's a bit more transparent where you're paying like for your phone now and your bill. But, so not your bill, for your data
Does
and
EE
calls.
do that?
Yeah, they did it now, yeah.
Oh, you lot took time.
What did you? You
I was
paid?
like, So like you're paying...
You pay for your phone bill separate and your...
Oh, yeah.
They just started doing that now.
Oh, that's cute.
I think that's even with newer contracts. So mine is still like one like payment and stuff.
Yeah.
That's why I had to leave them, man. He was just... Because I was just like, first of all, like, there's no incentive here. At least O2, I get O2 priority. Sometimes I get Greg's sausage roll. Do you know what I mean? Like, they give you nice things.
Yeah.
It gives you good stuff as well, you know?
What?
Free chargers.
Oh, well, that's
The
good.
power bank. That's what they give you.
I remember back in the day they did that.
I think there's still...
I never
No,
had
but
power
they give you, depending on the tariff you get, TNT boxing, like BT Sports, basically.
Okay.
Netflix.
Like
I get
no, but
that.
now though,
Like you get either Spotify, Netflix, Now
Okay.
TV, yeah.
but that's a
I
new
get that
thing,
on
though.
a SIM only.
Ah.
Yeah, because I've got
Okay.
SIM. I'm on SIM only now.
Okay.
£11 is a great deal.
Okay,
But
I don't pay
£11.
What, unlimited?
Yeah.
And you get
got
extra
unlimited-
bits.
Unlimited
Oh,
data.
and then I remember text and calls. I've got 50 gig data, and I never use it.
That's more than enough, you know.
Yeah, that's
It's more than enough. You can. I'll be honest. The site I use, you
I
can
shot
actually
myself
get.
in the foot, man. I'm paying like £80
Excuse me.
Why?
for mine, and I never run over data.
You should just actually
get
speak
unlimited,
to them,
innit?
yeah.
Yeah, but the thing is, I was
That's wild.
on a discount before,
Ah.
but it's mad because the guy that hooked me up. We don't really talk like that anymore, so I can't go back to it. Like, do you get what I mean? So I just had to.
Yeah, but you like, how long into your contract are you?
I got 1 more year left.
Well, when your year is done, I've got a plug. Because basically, the website I use, I'm sure I can find you unlimited data for £15. It's
Sim
so
only,
lit.
though. Sim only.
Sim only.
Yeah,
to be honest, after this, I'm not changing my phone, man. I'm tired.
Yeah.
I'm tired. I can't go
back.
It's
a scam.
It's a damn shame. But apparently, this guy is saying, if the claim is successful, someone who had contracts with just one of these mobile operators, could get more than £1,800. This is what he's estimating.
Per person.
Mm-hmm. I don't believe it, but this is what he's saying.
Sorry, I missed that.
Is that cash?
Are they credit your bill, transfer, check?
Yeah. Well, they're going to deduct it from your bill. I need a cash.
No, I want a cash. Don't worry about the bill. I'll sort that out next month. How much is it?
He's saying £1,800. If the claim is successful, someone who had contracts with just one of these guys could get that amount of money.
I really hope that comes my way. That'd be nice.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, suing
him. Justin, man, doing the Lord's work.
Yeah.
Did I mention how much he's suing him for?
No.
Oh, £3 billion.
Okay. $3 billion?
Yeah.
And he's only giving me
1,800.
There's too many people.
We're going to end with £20 vouchers.
It's on behalf of 4.8 million people. So, yeah.
That's lit. I need to find him on Twitter and say, hey, I'd like to join the lawsuit, please. Class action suit. That's lit.
Yes. So the next thing I want to mention is obviously this Rwanda plan asylum scheme thing, right? You remember how much it was that the UK paid Rwanda before?
Oh, I remember you did tell us.
Mm-hmm.
Like £20 million.
Mm-hmm. What did that remember? 140 million.
From where is this money coming from?
We were saying this is insane. Still no
is.
plane.
If don't tell me they've added more money to it. Because not one immigrant has made their way to Rwanda.
They've given them more money.
No. Okay, I think this is what's that word? It's money laundering.
There's always something behind this, you know.
Yeah. It can't be for real.
They've given them an extra 100 million.
Wow.
Yes.
From where? Are we in a cost of living crisis?
That's what happens, man. That's what happens.
You know, grand scheme of things, 100 million is not a lot that you guys are moving crazy over.
You got nothing back for it. It's a lot of money, man.
I don't know if they got nothing back from it.
There's no planes there. No one's there.
The arrangement with Rwanda, are you saying that they're not getting anything from Rwanda?
No, as in we've got nothing yet.
At present, no, they're not.
Nothing.
Because they haven't sent anybody there.
I don't know if that's true, to be honest.
So what do you think they've got there?
I don't know, but there's no way.
Do you think they're sending people on the low? Huh? Do you think they're sending people there on the low?
No. That would be insane.
I don't know what Brent means there.
Brent's been hopeful.
From what airport?
How will you know?
My friend.
You think when you're trying to go to Dubai or Ghana, you're peeping to see who's going to Rwanda?
So that's what I'm saying. Like, sending people on the low from what airport? Because I don't think they send anybody.
Yeah, they couldn't have done that. No way. That would be the end of the government, you know.
No, if we never find out.
How could they took their phones and everything?
Literally. That's what I say from what airport. Because no one's gonna just.
No, but all they can do is
all the people that they're taking, they've literally taken everything off them.
No, but think about these people, yeah. They are people in a vulnerable state. No. A little threat. If you say anything, I'm going to take you back to Iraq. That's what you got to say to people. Or whatever country, I'm going to take you back to Nigeria. Whatever it is you say to people.
That would be crazy.
Yeah. That would be the biggest scandals to ever hit the nation.
That's impossible. That's impossible.
I don't put it past them.
Well, apparently, in addition to this 100 million, another payment of 50 million is expected next year as well. So it could be over 150 million.
Do you know what's mad? I reckon it's a thing where they signed a contract with Rwanda, but in their contracts, they did not specify that if they have any issues where they can't send people, they will no longer make payments. So legally, they have to keep making these payments.
Yeah, but I think it's also because they keep trying. Because they still haven't given up on the plan, they're still thinking, okay, cool.
They're probably still doing stuff over there to accommodate them.
Yeah, exactly.
But they need the money.
Hell, I might move to Rwanda. If they're investing and pushing the money into Rwanda,
it's crazy.
That's lit.
Yeah, but you know what? People are obviously talking about if there's even a good use of money because what they're saying is the department has estimated the cost of sending someone to a safe country, not specifically Rwanda, is £169,000.
Per person?
Can you imagine?
Per person?
Per person. compared to 106,000 if they were to remain in the UK.
But is there space in the UK then?
There you go.
No, they keep building.
Yeah, but they're not building for the average man. They're building for the billionaires to charge people £1,000 for a kitchen sink.
But I guess what they're saying is this particular scheme is mainly to reduce the amount of spending that the government is doing on these actual people while they're here. Apparently, it's £8 million a day on housing migrants in UK hotels. £8 million a day.
That's
you know
mad.
what I mean? So, yes. Anyway, and the last thing I wanted to mention briefly is Brent. You know your guy Bard. Apparently, he's going to be like supercharged, man.
Man, go, by the way.
Pardon me.
Bard is a girl.
For me, it is.
And you named her Bard.
I haven't named anything. This is an AI bot like ChatGPT.
What's her name?
If I Google.
What's the name you're going to give her?
Bardi.
Such an egg.
But yeah, Google is basically they're rolling out a new upgraded version of Bard, man. Or pardon me, they're like upgraded technology that they're going to put into Bard. And apparently it's better than ChatGPT. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, man. It's the UK is yet to approve it though. So it's kind of going to be in America first, like everything anyway.
Of course.
But yeah, the UK and the EU are being made to wait. Pretty much to see if everything's all good, man, before it gets rolled out over here. That's pretty much it for the People's Journal.
Thank you very much. Let's get into some sis. What would you do? No?
Yeah. Ain't there something there?
I thought we would do this after the interview.
Okay, we can do the interview.
Okay.
Makes sense. What we always do. Sorry, Esther.
Don't sorry me.
No,
you're too shady this morning.
Emmanuel, because
I don't know why.
Last time too.
I say it's what we always do.
I don't know.
And we do always do this.
All right, let's get into the interview then. Okay, we have a lovely, lovely guest with us today. You've met her actually. She was here to, tell us about Congo and educate us about Congo and stuff. But there's more to her, babe. I love her. Multifaceted. Is that the word?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, a multifaceted babe. But morning, Laura.
Morning.
How are you?
Good.
You happy to be back with us?
Yeah, nice.
Love that. So, in our true fashion of interviews, we have a game that we play with our lovely guests. And essentially, it's a 140 question. So it's general knowledge questions.
Oh my God.
So clearly you didn't tell her.
No, I didn't. I actually
not let her know.
I forgot, Because she was there the first time, I actually forgot.
Oh, yeah. So, no, but it's just general knowledge. It's not that bad. It's like this or that, like what your preference is.
Okay,
that kind of
yeah,
stuff.
that's fine. Cause...
No. It's general knowledge too.
Oh, God, forget it.
But you'll be fine, to be honest. It's going to be over 140 beat. And you can pass if you don't know the question, you want to answer more questions.
Okay.
So the more questions you get through, the higher your chances of getting a higher score will be.
Okay.
Yeah. You ready, sir?
Mm-hmm. Just start from the bottom.
Start from the bottom, yeah?
Yeah.
Okay, hold on. All right. Brendan, you ready?
Yes. All right. 3.
You're going first, right?
Yeah.
All right, lovely.
3, 2, 1.
In what country can you find the ancient city of Petra?
Please pass.
Please. Haile Selassie was emperor of what country?
Oh my gosh. Do you know what? Just pass. Because
Vacation or solo trip?
vacation.
What's the largest planet in the solar system?
Please. I'm psychology. I'm not.
Fresh Prince was based where?
America.
I don't know. Religion or way of life?
Way of life.
What temperature does water boil at?
Please.
Who was the first African artist to perform at the Champions League final kickoff show?
No, I don't know.
Texting or calling?
Nothing even.
Who sculpted the famous David statue?
I don't know that.
Where is the city of Salvador?
Brazil.
TikTok or Instagram?
TikTok.
What's the world's largest ocean?
Pacific.
Yeah.
Nice.
Thank God, because I'll be honest, you were going outside. The Fresh Prince is Bel Air.
Oh, it's still America though.
That's not specific.
Oh, I needed to be that specific. Okay. Guys, please, anything psychology I can do.
It's so funny. I like it though. Laura does not like stress, so please. Next one. All right, so can you please tell us or let our lovely listeners know what it is that you do?
So I am a integrative psychotherapist. So I essentially work with clients with different ranges of mental health challenges. So I would treat them clinically depending on what's coming up for them.
So when you say clinically, does that involve like medication?
No.
Okay.
Yeah. So that would be psychiatry.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Oh, that's interesting. Okay.
So we would pass the report to the psychiatrist.
Okay.
And then they would yeah.
That's really cool. And how did you get into psychology? Have you always wanted to be a psychotherapist?
No. At one point I wanted to be a midwife, then I wanted to do fashion. And then I landed here somehow. Okay. It was after my undergrad. I actually Googled. I was like, what do you call someone that is more than a counsellor? Okay. And then it came up and I started reading into it and I was like, oh, actually, like, yeah, this sounds interesting. But I think it was because, so for undergrad, I did psychology and education.
Oh, sick.
And they were pushing more like for teaching. And I didn't want to be that kind of teacher. Yeah. And so I just started to do like research and then that's how I kind of went into it. But it's so strange because it wasn't something that when I was like in school that I was thinking about. Yeah. I don't think I really had good schooling, to be fair. I went to school in Tottenham.
She said
so
that
I'll
would
just
do
leave
it. That's
that.
just
Not that all schools in Tottenham are bad, but
she said, boy.
I went to a school that, it just wasn't. So I feel like we didn't have a plethora of choices. Like I actually wanted to do drama at one point, but we had a teacher who, bless her soul, so she was struggling with obesity. So we couldn't do music and drama past year 9. So they took it off the curriculum.
What's that obesity got to do with anything?
She just couldn't function. Like she was really, so she was...
And she was a drama teacher?
And music. So she was off for a long period of time. So they took it off the curriculum. So by the time you get to sixth form...
Your school is not serious. They could not hire her.
Right, literally.
That department shut down.
Literally. So by the time you get to sixth form, you're not going to think about, let me choose drama. You haven't done it for about 3 years. So...
Oh, that's sad.
Yeah.
That's very crazy. Yeah. That's not a serious school. To be fair, what you said sounds right. That's not a serious school. Imagine closing the whole department because one teacher's out sick.
And we had a lot of talented people like music. And some people have obviously come out and still, but yeah.
That's crazy.
It's a damn shame.
That is a damn shame. What's it psychotherapy? Is that different to normal therapy? Or is all therapy psychotherapy?
No. So psychotherapists work with more deep-rooted issues. So therapy would be what you're receiving. A psychotherapist will be who's treating you.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, so psychotherapy is to do with deeper
so issues. Deep-rooted issues that would go on for a long span of time, whereas counselling can be short-term.
Oh, so are most people kind of conflating counselling with therapy then?
So it's interchangeable, but there is differences because usually most counsellors probably won't work with really like deep traumas, for example. They might work with maybe it could be acute, so maybe like a one-time
incident,
thing.
Like
exactly, so it's usually more short-term. So you probably see maybe between 4 to 8 sessions where someone could be having psychotherapy for year long.
Did you believe in therapy before you became a psychotherapist?
I guess I'm not sure if I didn't, but I don't think I really knew.
Okay.
Yeah. I did have, so when I was 18, I don't even know how I got there. I was referred to a therapist. I genuinely, maybe it was my behaviour, I'm not sure.
In school, don't act like you don't know why. Were you naughty in school? Were you suspended? Because Isaac is...
So I'm saved, so all things are passed away.
Amen. Sister, amen, sister.
So, yes, I was referred. But like, I remember that was my first experience of therapy. And to be fair, that could have put me off.
Yeah.
So I had a lady, so she was a white lady, And we were just sitting across each other, just staring at each other. And I had nothing to say. And so she asked me... You didn't even
know why you were there?
No, I didn't. And so she asked me, so she said, oh, so if I didn't say nothing, I guess we'll be sitting here in silence.
That's what she said?
Yeah. And I just said, yes. Yeah. Like, we would, because I don't think there was any probing or anything like that.
Yeah.
So I think that could have actually put me off altogether. But yeah, so I guess beforehand, I definitely wasn't against it. I think I just didn't understand how helpful it is. Yeah.
Did you do you think that race is something that's important in therapy? Like when someone's going to choose a therapist?
So I think it goes down to preference. I guess it depends on what your story is.
Yeah.
So for some people, they would prefer to have a black therapist because there's things that you feel like, you know, there's common grounds there, etc. But also there's familiarity.
Okay, yeah.
So you have to be mindful of that. And therapy is not necessarily about having similar backgrounds.
Yeah.
It's more about, can this person work with what I've been through?
Yeah.
So then when you put it like that, it doesn't necessarily have to come down to race.
Yeah.
But then I'm definitely not going to exempt the fact that race is important. We definitely do need black therapists. There's a reason. So, yeah.
Oh, yeah.
What's the difference between a psychotherapist and a psychiatrist?
So a psychiatrist so you have to have a science background for psychiatry, because they would prescribe medication, etc. So it is much more of a longer training. So that would be the difference. And psychiatrists don't therapize.
Okay.
Yeah. So they would take the psychological report and then treat the client based on what the outcome is. So measure the outcomes by what medication they need, etc.
Like, from when you graduated, you started getting experience and things of that nature. Did you start seeing friends, family in a different way?
Very.
Therapy will do that to you.
Yeah, it's one thing being in therapy, and then it's another thing of having to study. I definitely learned that I don't give advice. No.
As into people, not your non-clients.
The
friends and non-clients. We're not allowed to give advice as therapists, but to friends, I don't give advice anymore. I always throw it back. So if you was to say something to me, I don't know what to do, I'd say, oh, right.
What
so I guess, So what's coming up for you? What's your options? Yeah. I'm not making that decision for you.
Ooh, I like that. Making that decision for you. Is that because... In fact, why? Why is that the case?
Because I could potentially enable a behaviour that could lead to codependency, where you're always going to depend on me for answers, and I don't have the capacity to hold that.
Very professional.
Very professional. Yeah, that's smart.
Interesting. But did you maybe see your parents and siblings through a different lens and be like, okay, so now I understand why you're like this?
Yeah, I definitely became more inquisitive, for sure. Yeah, I guess with parents and stuff, parents is a deep one with people, especially black parents. I guess it's I think sometimes the saying goes for them, it's not your fault that maybe the trauma took place, but it's your responsibility to ensure your healing. And sometimes they are none the wiser and etc. But I guess I was having a conversation the other day and I said, so we're in a time where maybe 10, 15 years ago we didn't know, but now we're in a place where we do know and we're trying to do better. So even though they came from that place of not knowing and they didn't have therapy, but they're now having conversations, they're seeing things. So then what is your excuse as a parent to try and change? That is pride. And obviously that...
Yeah, ego. It's rooted in ego.
Exactly. Yeah. So, you do start to see things in a different way. I think grace is given, but then also I'm not going to suppress how I feel and I'm not going to internalize what you're doing. So it's best that we have conversations around things, which obviously can be difficult depending on where you're coming from, because I think with a lot of Africans, we're sworn to secrecy, we're suppressed by the whole adult-child dynamic, which is a deep form of triangulation. But you definitely start to see things in a different lens. But I think the first step to freedom is self-awareness. So we need to speak about it.
Yeah. I was going to ask 2 questions. I was going to ask about how it was that you navigated your relationships, like learning more. How did you navigate those relationships? As much as you don't give people advice, but then are there things that you see in people, and like how did you navigate those conversations, maybe with your friends, even with family? But also you mentioned about triangulation, and I want to know what that is.
Oh, so okay, we'll start with the first part. Yeah. Navigating the relationships. I think it starts with self first. So there definitely was a process of like thinking about, okay, what's going on with me? What are my triggers? What's happening? And I guess you learn that actually you feel it in your body. The body keeps the score. And so if it's not everything that I'm keeping score of, so the ones that I am keeping score of, I have to speak about it, because if I'm not, then I'm suppressing it and it's coming out in a different way. Yeah. So it was just more kind of like breath work and just thinking, okay, what is the outcomes of this conversation? Once I realized that the outcome is X, Y, Z, then it's okay, I'll have this conversation. But also it's thinking about how you're going to have the conversation. Because, for example, you might have a sibling or a friend that isn't really good with confrontation. So they're usually like they use humor a lot. So you may not approach them in a very serious way. Okay, so you might approach them with not necessarily humor, but more lighthearted. So it's easy for them to kind of digest what's going on. So I guess it's more about thinking about, how do I approach this person? This is why you have to know who you're dealing with. And then triangulation is, so I guess it's a part of transactional analysis therapy, where it's a diagram of victim, perpetrator, and it's gone off my head now. So I guess it's maybe mum, dad, child. Okay, yeah. And perpetrator, yeah. So you're working in that triangle. Yeah. And sometimes it goes round. So yeah, thinking about the dynamics between that.
Family. That's so interesting. Do you feel like therapy is, because culturally, right, with black people, we got a question. So a question says, so if the therapist just throws the question back, what would be the incentive to go to a therapist?
That was specifically to personal relationships, not therapy. Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. Have you got any of your friends that are your clients?
Any of my friends? Yeah. No.
Or like family?
No. I don't mix that.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
Any of your family members or friends, have they been more open to therapy since you're studying?
Yeah, they have, which is really good actually, because I guess they see the change. Yeah. In me, but also just a change in society. Like, we're moving into a time where people are more open about it and stuff. And also you still want to value your friendship. So you'll have times where you'll talk about difficult things, but you also still want to enjoy. So I guess it's good to find somewhere where you can have that safe space to actually work through those things. Yeah. Because, someone could be really good at giving advice and talking things through, but there's a reason why we study. There's a way that we have to work with certain things that maybe your friends and family don't have the palette to do, don't have the capacity, etc. So yeah.
I was gonna say, with your friends, like, or even family as well, did you have to set a boundary of, because obviously if people know that this is what you're studying, where people coming to you with questions and kind of emotionally dumping on you, and did you have to set boundaries of, hey, I'm a therapist, but I'm not your therapist? And how was that for you?
Yeah, I've used that exact line. I definitely had to set boundaries, because it's a lot. I still obviously have to show up for people around me, but I have to be completely 100% for my clients. Yeah. They really matter. So I have to preserve my energy for them. Yeah. So I guess it's fine if we can have a discussion and stuff, but I guess if things are getting quite difficult and they're consistent, then I have that conversation with, I do feel like maybe you can explore some professional help. Yeah. So it's the way you say things. I would never say, I think you should go to therapy. No, it's more so like, I've seen that this behaviour has gone on for quite some time. And I think you benefit from some sort of support. Yeah. It might not be therapy, maybe mentoring, because it depends on what's coming up for them. Yeah. But if it's like a deep-rooted issue, it's maybe you can explore that, because, how is it affecting your other relationships, for example? Yeah.
I was going to say, what other forms of therapy would you say exist outside of just speaking to somebody?
So there's EMDR, there's tapping. So so talking. So there's talking.
Tapping.
No, so they're different. So there's bits of tapping in EMDR, but tapping is also separate. Okay. So those are like somatic therapy. So you're working with the body. So it's when you've experienced a lot of trauma and it's stuck in your body, so trying to release it. Okay. So it won't be like traditional talking therapy. Yeah. Yeah. So a lot of people who have experienced severe trauma, maybe like assault, abuse, at some point are encouraged to do some sort of somatic therapy.
Yeah. What does that look like? What is that?
So that would be the tap in. So I guess talking through where you feel like the trauma sits. So it might sit heavy in your heart. And kind of working through what that would feel like to release it. So it's
tapping into that trauma.
So it's trauma informed. So you're not necessarily having to kind of describe it like a police report. Okay. But it's more working on the feelings and the emotions from the event.
From that, okay. Yeah. Okay. That's so cool. Sounds I
was gonna ask you, do you feel like having the right mentality is a prerequisite for getting the best result from, or getting any type of result from therapy? Or can somebody be skeptical but still go to therapy and still get some amazing results?
The skeptical ones are the best ones. Yeah, because you basically already come in with a mindset of, I don't even think this is going to work. And actually collaboratively working together, you see that, oh, actually, I can get from this, but also you feel motivated that actually I'm also doing the work in this. Because sometimes the skepticism in it is that you're probably downhearted and probably don't feel motivated enough or don't feel the courage that you can kind of get through what you're going through. So then you come in and maybe the expectations is this person has to fix me. And then you might have like challenges where it's like, oh, I knew this would be the case because obviously the therapist isn't going to do that. But actually what happens is you build up something in there that you realize that actually I'm learning something about myself that is encouraging myself to move out of this pessimistic space.
We've got another question, sorry. It says something along the lines of, I don't know what the first part was, but basically, can Black individuals confidently trust therapy within IC1 institutions, given the historical significance and backbone of these institutions?
So like NHS and...
Yeah, I reckon so.
So as a therapist and within therapy, it's non-judgmental. You know, it shouldn't be going out of the bounds of in the room unless you become a risk to yourself or somebody else. So you should be able to trust your therapist, but if you don't, that's a conversation to have with the therapist. Is there something that has been said that makes you feel that you don't trust them? Is there what's happening for you? Because sometimes maybe the trust comes from you're coming in with trust issues and there might be a transference happening between you and the therapist. So the therapist might remind you of your perpetrator, for example, and so it's difficult to trust. So if you feel very uncomfortable and you've not sought the therapist privately, you've sought through institution, then you should be able to speak to that institution and say that actually I'm uncomfortable with this and explain why. They should be able to, you know, find a different therapist for you or be able to work through that, because sometimes working through that is the breakthrough.
Okay. I was going to say like because obviously culturally with Black people, we don't really believe in like therapy, like even like mental health. That's just a conversation we're having today. But back then it was just a thing of prayed away or you're not or label any mental health issue as crazy. Because even sometimes like I hear stories from like aunties and uncles and stuff of people that they're old friends and I'm like, oh, that person was bipolar. Or like, do you mean you're picking up stuff? But in regards to therapy, obviously a bit of that mindset is still here today, which makes people feel as though therapy is just not useful, or even with mental health, it's like no, that's just a white man thing. What are your views on that narrative?
It's interesting. So when I studied my first course, I was 1 out of 3 Blacks, and it was a class of 25.
Okay.
So there's so much in that as to why I can understand why people feel like that.
Yeah.
So if we go back in history, I guess it was known as, you know, something that was a privileged service, and the privilege was seeking it, which at the time was white people. And then when we think about the Black culture, we're sworn to secrecy. Don't say it. Don't talk about it. Don't. So how do you then come out and trust a complete stranger with your pain? It's just not something that's normalized for Black people. And I guess it's come to a point where people have, because they've suppressed these things so much, it then causes stress-induced issues, which can turn into different kind of mental health issues. And I think because it's become that bad, that it's actually, we have no choice but to try and trust, because we don't want to, we've seen other people suffer the consequences of that. And so we want to do better. Do you think that's something that we can change there? Do you feel like it's, as a therapist, like, do you think it's changing, like it's getting better? And at what pace? Like, is it getting, do you know what I mean? Like, is it very, very slow where it's going to take us forever to catch up? Or do you think it's going at a good, healthy level? And if you don't think it is, or if you do think it is, like, how do you think we can further improve our knowledge on mental health and be more open-minded to the realities of what our body and minds actually feel? So going back to the pandemic, something happened that changed things. So I guess with the way that everybody was experiencing the pandemic, a lot of Black people came forward in terms of wanting to seek help. And so what happened was a lot of institutions realised there is barely any Black therapists. I think people think there's a lot of Black therapists because there's, for example, the Black and Asian Network. And it's like, okay, but you're not going to be scrolling that long on that page compared to other directories. So so there was basically an uproar because there was a bunch of Black and Asian people who only wanted to see Black therapists, and there wasn't that much. So you can imagine, like, there was like a waiting list of like 50 people because there was so, like, they just didn't. So I guess institutions had to realize that we actually have to accept more Black people on our courses. It can take like 7 tries to get onto a psychology postgrad course.
That's crazy.
So things have had to change. So you'll see now in like recent cohorts, there's a lot more Black people because they're realizing the pandemic, it got that bad. So from an institution basis, like, okay, it's improving. And I guess from a generation point of view, I think we are getting better because we're normalizing mental health. We're talking about things. We're talking about erectile dysfunction. We're talking about postnatal depression. We're talking about sex. We're talking about all of these things that our families and our communities basically silenced us for not talking about. So I guess if you think about a friendship group of 5, 2 out of 5 are definitely in therapy. So it's really cool. It's changing the narrative. So it is getting better. But there's always going to be 1 or 2 people who are just not going to be with it. Which there's not much you can do because I guess not everybody's going to agree to everything. But if the majority are, then that's what's important.
Is it possible to be in therapy and your situation is above your therapist? Like, you're not making any improvement. You just
need prayer.
You just must tap out. Do you get me? Like, is that possible? And what does that look like?
So to be in therapy and nothing's happening.
Not be making any progress. Not because your therapist is not trying, but
that means you're not doing. Because essentially the true work of therapy happens in between the sessions. So what are you doing with the tools that's being presented to you in between the sessions? So it comes down to self. But also the first therapist that you're with doesn't have to be the one that is for you. So it also can be that person's not a right fit for you. So it's very important to vocalize that. And if you feel like you're not on the same page as the therapist, for example, have that conversation with them, because they might that could cause a breakthrough between that relationship.
That's true, yeah.
But then it might actually be that, okay, maybe we're not the right fit for each other, and actually maybe you need, so it could be that this is a specific CBT therapist, and you're coming in with trauma of, I guess, maybe abandonment or something. And it might be that actually it's probably best that you see a integrative or a psychodynamic therapist. So sometimes it can be on the therapist part, and sometimes it can be on the client's part. You have to think about what you're doing in between sessions.
And CBT is cognitive behavioral
therapy. Yeah.
I was gonna say that as a therapist though, like if you see that your client is not doing the work, and you guys are still in the same place 3 years after, well, not maybe 3 years, but you can see that they're not doing the work to move themselves forward. Can you ever tap out from being someone's therapist?
You can, but I think at some point there is also a responsibility there to at least ensure that there is some sort of betterment. So I think for me, if I could see that somebody's not moving, they're not doing the work, I guess I'll know they're not doing the work, because I guess if we're talking about some of the tasks that we've set and week on week, it's, oh, I forgot I didn't do that. I'd think, okay, it sounds like you're occupied with a lot of things, and maybe therapy is not your priority at this moment. And that sparks a different conversation. Then you obviously see that actually, therapy is not a priority at the moment because I'm going through this, I'm going through that. And that brings you back to the purpose of that's why you're here. So I wouldn't tap out from somebody just because something else is happening there.
And that needs to be addressed.
Yeah.
With therapists, do they have to, is there a requirement for therapists that also have therapists?
It's not a requirement, but you will. So I guess in your training, yes. But in terms of post-training, it's more about when you feel that is necessary. So a lot of therapists have therapists, but I guess you don't always have to be in therapy in that sense. So you're not always going to be in, but there's points in your life where you might feel like, okay.
I
wanted to ask you, obviously, people have certain ideas of what therapy is like or what it is, things of that nature. Is it a misconception for someone to believe that a therapist will give them answers, or is that a real thing? So, for example, if I feel like I've got issues, I'm trying to decide important things in my life, right? Like, cool, I need a therapist to help me navigate this and put things in the right place and assess them correctly, whatever it may be. Is that the extent to where it goes? Or would the therapist say, listen, after hearing this, I think you know the right answer, and this is the right answer? Or is it like, I'm going to leave you to make the decision always?
So I guess what I'm hearing is that you saying that basically you're coming in with the expectation that the therapist is going to put things in order.
Yes, and tell you basically plainly there is a right and a wrong. And I guess you picked the right thing.
Okay. Because I guess what I'm thinking about that is that you've already come in with something. So you've already come in with an answer. Okay. And so you want me to validate that answer for you, basically.
You want me to enable.
Yeah. But if you're so sure about it, then I guess why are we here in that sense? But then also that's I guess for me, I see that as, I wonder what your other relationships look like, actually. So let's explore that. But you could come in and you could come in with like, okay, this is what I need, and we could discuss it, and it sounds like, it sounds like you're on track. Because it doesn't mean that when you come into therapy that everything is all bad. Things can be good, because some people generally don't know how to handle good things. So you're not always in because there's a deep-rooted trauma, etc. So it could be that actually what I'm seeing is that you're second-guessing that you can make good decisions. So where does that come from?
But what if somebody says to you, you know what? It's not exactly that. Or it could be something that me and you just discover during the therapy session. And it's like, cool, I'm at a crossroads where it's like, I need to now decide on what to pick. Okay. You know what I'm saying? Would you ever tell them where to go?
Oh, no.
Okay.
So so that's what you're, so you're basically saying if there's a decision you need to make and whether I would decide for you. No. So it would be that, okay, so let's explore your two decisions. Okay. What's sustainable for you? what is feeling more closer to you in terms of your values, your principles, your morals. Where are you leaning towards? What are the influences? Where are the projections? So all of those explorations will lead you to a decision. And usually you're always leaning towards one, but there's something around questioning whether I can make a good decision. So I want somebody to validate my decision. But actually it's about what is it that's, what's happened to you, what learned behavior has happened that you question making good decisions. It could be that you've made a decision before that completely went the wrong way, and so you're really unsure and nervous about making decisions again. So the therapy will be working on building up that tolerance, building up that trust in yourself to feel that you can be empowered to make decisions again.
What about the connection between being able to decide and actually taking action?
Yeah, that's big steps. Yeah, because making the decision is one thing. Taking the action is a different thing. So I guess that probably would be maybe the CBT route. And, so what I would do is, well, sometimes it could be different things, but a Beck's downward arrow. So it's usually, to simplify, is, okay, so what's the worst that would happen if you did this? What's the worst that would happen if you do that? So really going down to see, because usually there's a fear connected to it. And actually, as we get down the ladder, that actually is, oh no, it's actually not that intense as I thought it would be.
But what if it was?
So what's the worst that can happen if it gets to that point? Okay, so if it's like, okay, I will lose everyone. Okay, so how would you feel if you lost everyone then? What would happen? So what would you do without everybody? Okay, so then actually, as we're getting down, we're looking at this because there's some sort of maybe codependency already that's happening, whereas you can't sit with yourself, which was happening a lot in the pandemic. People realize that actually they struggle with just sitting with themselves. So actually empowering yourself to know that, we obviously need people, but how dependent are you on your relationships that this is what's happening for you? So, and I guess sometimes that could probably go into a risk place, because some of the things that come up could be that actually other services need to get involved, etc. So it's, how do we safeguard this? So, I guess it really depends. But I guess if it's nothing to do with risk and safeguarding, it's usually to do with fear. And so we need to work on what that fear looks like. So sometimes it could be exposure therapy, where we're actually exposing you to like that biggest fear.
What does a healthy level of codependency look like? The reason why I'm saying is because I don't know if it's been romanticized or whatever it may be, but a lot of the time you see couples who've been together for 70 years. One passes away and then the other guy leaves.
Not the other guy.
Or the woman.
Person,
you know what I'm saying? 2 weeks later.
They do tend to follow each other.
You know what I'm saying? Is that healthy though?
Yes.
If, for example, it didn't happen after 70 years, it happened after 10 years, and now that person is now struggling to move on in life. You know what I'm saying? Like, does the end justify how we kind of perceive something as good or bad?
So that's like two different things. I guess like there's like eroticism and connection there, as well as so codependency. So there is a healthy level of codependency, which would probably be formed as a secure attachment. So we do need to depend on each other to a certain extent, but it's more so when you're leaning on the person to the point where they are validating you completely, that's when things become unhealthy, for example. So I guess that would move into an anxious attachment. But in terms of connection and people leave, especially when they get older, this is a lifespan of connection. So it would look like it's unhealthy because it's, okay, so why are you following through? But actually there's so much soul connection in that. So actually they've done what they need to do, and that connection, it's formed this end. So I wouldn't say that the end signifies it's pain, actually. And it could look like, so they can't live without the person. Actually, if you've been together for 70 years and you've done all of those things together, it can be difficult, because usually what happens with a lot of people is that they just end up probably getting sick because, because of loneliness, etc. But I think, there is a healthy level of codependency. It's just when it becomes unhealthy, when you are seeking total validation.
How does your Christianity play into this? Because I'm assuming certain things you learn in school and things of that nature may seem opposed to certain ideas that may be seen as traditionally Christian. You know what I'm saying? Like maybe the role of prayer, and maybe in the science realm, it's like, cool, it has a role, but it's very kind of small over there. Like, how does that affect your analysis of a particular patient?
And also, actually, what kind of differences do you see between like maybe psychology and religion? Oh, sorry, y'all.
I think for me, I don't feel like God will put me somewhere I'm not supposed to be. Number one. So the fact that I'm here, there's something about there being a connection already. I think there's nuances, but then there's a lot of psychologists from, years back that actually were religious. So some of their theories, you'll see that there is like religious concepts.
Yeah, that's true.
But I guess therapy is not about the therapist, it's about the client. So in terms of what I'll be bringing to the therapy room in terms of my faith would be patience, would be kindness, would be caringness, would be empathy. So it would be characteristics of who I am, but it's never a conversation around me. Okay. It's about the client.
Yeah.
So I guess, that would be that. I guess it's very difficult. I know there's a difference with like nursing, because I know it's like with that kind of field, it's but with therapy, it's more about if it's relevant to discuss, we can discuss it. So if a client wanted to speak about faith and how it's affecting them, etc., then we can explore it. So there's scope to do that. But I think it's more so that it's not about us in the room, it's about them.
Yeah.
So it's if they want to bring that forward.
Do you let your clients know that you're a Christian?
If the conversation needs to be had, but it's not something that you have to say. Okay. But if a difficult topic comes up, that's where we'll be congruent and say, well, this is my faith, etc. And we can talk about that.
Yeah.
I'm going to ask a question for someone in the chat, but so I don't forget my question quickly. Do you feel like... I forgot my question. Okay, it'll come back to me. Yes. Can you ask about the opposite, basically? When I asked about codependency, a healthy level of codependency, is there a healthy level of independence? What does that look like?
Yeah, there is. So I guess that's self-awareness, being able to exist without the reliance of other people. So I guess, what are some things that you feel like you have to do with people that actually these are things that you could do by yourself? What are some things that you seek total validation in other people that actually you could work on empowering yourself? So there is a help, and we should all have a healthy level of independence. But I guess it's more so maybe, I wouldn't say unhealthy independence, because I guess, we should all be independent, but I guess it's, how is it still, I always ask the question, is it still sustainable? Is it still working for you? What's happening? Because I guess what I get from the question is more so, are you withdrawing from people?
Way too much.
Where it's that you feel like you can do everything by yourself.
Yeah.
And at some point that does become exhausting. And I guess maybe it comes from consistently relying on people who have disappointed you. And so I'm just going to just do everything by myself. But actually but who are the people who are trustworthy and reliable? And if I don't have that, exploring that actually, because you will exhaust yourself by constantly feeling like I have to do everything by myself.
When you were in uni studying all this type of stuff, did your lecturers ever encourage you guys to like read stuff or do things outside of what you're learning, if that makes sense? Like, do they encourage extracurricular activities, exploring other topics? The reason I'm asking is because I feel like you obviously encounter people from all walks of life, right? Do you have to be well-rounded to kind of speak about the things they want to speak about? Or can you kind of just direct the conversation and keep it to where you feel most comfortable?
So we constantly have to do continuous professional development, so you have to do constant reading. So we always used to be a constant thing, but I feel like it was usually directed at the white people, because it basically seemed like the blacks could deal with anything, but can the whites?
Resilience again.
Yeah. So for example, a big one would be topics around sickle cell.
Okay.
As a white client, a white therapist, having to do extra reading if you have a client that, So because I guess even though, and even as a black therapist, if there's something that I don't know, so I have to think about my level of competence firstly, because if I'm not, then I shouldn't be working with them. But that's the extreme case. Yeah. But I guess the core conditions, you can work with almost everyone until it's like a specialized issue. But you should still do some research around what could be happening, because it doesn't mean that you're not a good enough therapist for them. It's just that actually, if you know a bit more about what's happening, it's easy to relate. And which is why it goes back to the first point of, it doesn't mean you have to have a therapist directly from your race, because we can both be black and I can have no idea around sickle cell, for example, whereas there could be an Asian or white therapist who has done some research and reading and could support you a bit more.
So I guess the idea, I'm assuming here, based on what you're saying, is if you don't necessarily know something about a particular person's background or certain things they want to talk about, you'd kind of just go away, read it and all that type of stuff.
Yeah.
Okay, cool.
Yeah.
Also, I was going to ask you, where's my other question? You know how doctors have to do like certain amount of exams just in life, just forever? Do you guys have to do the same thing?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. It's a lot. It's a lot. Yeah, it's a lot. And I guess so sometimes there's like an argument of therapy is expensive, etc. But therapy courses are not free. You have to pay, and they're a lot of money. Wow. So it's not cheap to become a therapist. And so I guess that is probably why you see the prices of therapy, there's different ranges, but it's because there's so much money put in the training and even past the training. So we have to have constant supervision. So supervision it's another like head clinician that would oversee the work that you're doing. So we speak about our clients in supervision so that the supervisor can ensure and look at our process. You have to pay for that, which you pay for as long as you're training and working as a therapist. You have to be on continuous professional development, which means you have to consistently be engaging in some sort of course or something to uphold your PIN. So this is post your studying. So it is an expensive career. But I guess people feel like because you're talking about matters of the heart and the mind, why should people pay? But also there's a lot that you're sitting with. And it's not free. I mean, if they made all of these courses free, maybe the conversation would change. But they don't. Like even, for example, clinical psychology, that's funded by the NHS. So you're not paying to do that. But there's a difference with clinical psychology, you're learning about the theories and the mind, etc. But in terms of psychotherapy, you're learning how to treat the client. So there's a difference in that. And it's interesting because I guess clinical psychology is about data, numbers, etc. And I guess that's the kind of world so whatever, makes sense for them. Whereas when you're treating the client is different. They don't fund that. So, yeah.
I was going to ask you, I know we have to wrap up in a minute, right? But I did want to ask, what can anyone benefit from therapy? Why should any random person be open to therapy?
I say it's the call for change. So like I said, it's not your fault that the trauma or the incident would have taken place, but it's always our responsibility from healing from there. Because the person who caused you the pain most definitely isn't going to be the one that's going to help you get through it. So it's, do you want to stay in that place, or do you want to listen to that beacon of hope that you can actually have a better life. So managing what's happened, it doesn't remove what's happened to you, but do you want to move forward and actually experience a better life and not have to be stuck in that place? Because a lot of people, I say, are stuck at the age of when the trauma happened. So you can see someone that's 32 and they're still 15.
Wow.
So I would say it is a benefit to explore.
Yeah.
It doesn't mean that it's for everybody, but I think it's more about what is happening for you. What do you want out of life? How do you want to experience relationships again? How do you want to experience yourself again? Because trauma wipes out so much. And even if you feel like you can't get those past memories back, what do you want to do moving forward? So I think it is a great benefit. And some people are literally living mini versions of their parents' life, which probably isn't the life that you should be living.
Yeah, I was going to ask that because I think with trauma, sometimes people think that something dramatic or not dramatic, but something intense has had to happen.
Some big event.
Yeah, some big event has happened. But then do you believe that? Do you feel like a lot of people, like more people than none, have some form of trauma? And what are like the scale of trauma? Like, can you give me like a small scale? Just give someone an example of a smaller scale trauma that we might have normalized in society. They think they don't need to look into, but actually that might have that probably shapes how it is that they are as a person.
So someone could have gone through a heartbreak in college, and someone could have gone through like a burn that has
physical scars left.
And so when you put those two people in one place, everyone would say, oh, that
person's got trauma. Yeah.
But actually that heartbreak has now completely changed the way that person sees and works with people.
Yeah.
And they're always defensive now. They're always having to, I guess, to be defensive because nobody defended them, and that's literally changed. So I feel like obviously there's different levels of trauma, but we should never downplay anybody's trauma because you don't know how it's changed the course of their life and their thinking. And that's the reason why some people don't go to therapy, because it's not that deep. Like I went through, but it is deep actually, because you're not able to form a secure relationship with people. You're completely avoidant and not able to trust anybody because that person hurt you and disappointed you. So now you see everybody the same.
Yeah. We've got to talk about your book. You're an author.
Man.
Yeah.
A whole author. Absolutely amazing. Can you tell us about your book, please?
Yeah. Letters from the Heart.
Love it.
So yeah, I did it in 2020.
Sick.
Yeah.
You were really working during lockdown, you know.
No, honestly.
I was doing brunches in my back garden. I've been Mosa up and down,
honestly.
Up and down.
So the book is a combination of different experiences. Nice. So it's short text, so it's not a long read.
Okay, love it.
And I basically say it's like going through something and seeing it in a book, and you can take a picture and put it up on your status without leaking your own business, basically.
That's my favourite kind. I love stuff like that.
So it's about healing, it's about traumas, it's about polygamy, it's about so there's gonna be something in here that you'll resonate with 100%. I was reading bits of it yesterday and I was like, oh my God, this is really good. Like, this is good.
I love that.
So I do recommend to get it for sure.
People get it. There's some topics in there that are very important.
Yeah.
For the people.
You be quiet.
There is.
You want to get anything off your chest?
Get the book.
Let me find unsolicited polygamy.
Thank you very much. See, she said unsolicited.
That is very poisonous. Very.
It should become. It's almost like
it's hiding.
It's hiding, but we'll get there.
We'll get there.
Remain hidden. In Jesus' name.
No, in Jesus' name.
So I guess is there supporting of that.
So what, Laura? Do you think that works?
What's that?
Polygamy.
You know what? Whatever works for you, works for you. But you need to be truthful and honest with yourself if it's actually working for you. That would be my my
so
take.
That's the comment on that.
Yeah, I don't, engage in that.
Yeah, looks amazing. I'm gonna.
This is interesting. I don't know where it's gone.
He's praying hard and heavy.
Yeah,
like imagine.
No, I'm gonna find it. So ask your questions or where it is. I'm gonna find it because I know some people definitely
it's in there. Need to hear this.
Yes.
Where can it get?
Oh, here it is.
Ah, look at that.
So it sounds a bit poetic, but so it goes.
Let's go.
Does she know that you still love me? Does she know that you fantasize about sharing the space with me, connecting on levels beyond our flesh, our soul so deep? Does she know that our love is tied and the only way to let go is if our love dies? Does she know the only reason I will not come to her as a woman is based on my self-respect? What do you want? A crowd full of women auctioning for your love? She who gives the most gets the prize. No, honey. I am not trying to die emotionally competing for your love. Our hearts beat frequently, yet yours is racing. So tell me, love, who has your heart? Unsolicited polygamy.
That'll do it.
It's powerful, man.
It's very powerful. I love that, man.
I'm a fan.
Not that this is about me, guys, but like I said, it's a combination of different stories from different life walks.
And people can get it from Amazon.
Yes.
That's sick.
Dope.
How long did it take you to write it?
3 months.
Sick.
Yeah.
That's
So
amazing.
I finished in July. Yeah. But it was the pandemic. Yeah.
So what do you do? Like, outside of being a psychotherapist, like, do you have talks? I know, like, you go around having talks.
Yeah.
What other things do you do to raise awareness of what you do?
So I do like talks and workshops. I do different kind of teaching in different institutions and stuff. I don't know why I've put myself on another course, but hey. So those are the things I do. And I guess word of mouth as well.
Yeah.
I guess the future is different talks and educating a bit
amazing.
more about blackness and therapy. So my PhD research is actually going to be around black men.
Oh, she's
and
a
therapy.
PhD. This is lit.
Yeah.
It's going to be about what, sorry?
So it's going to be about vulnerability, black men, yeah. So vulnerability, black men and therapy.
That's beautiful.
It's powerful, man.
That's beautiful. We've got to have you back to talk about that when you're done, completed. And get your first.
Yeah, that will be a fourth striking first if I do. But with
When you
PhD, it's
do,
always only
amen.
pass and fail.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, they've changed that stuff, which is even good, please.
Which is good, yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, that's amazing. That's really cool. No, but honestly, well done. Like,
Yes, 100%.
you're doing amazing things. I love it. I really love
Thank you.
it. But can you let people know what your social media... Oh, no, wait a minute. Sorry. Got 2 questions to ask you.
Okay.
So we always ask our guests, tell us something nobody knows about you. Could be anything. And then also what your biggest life lesson is.
Something people don't know about me. I speak different languages.
Oh, how many?
Lingala, French.
No, you can tell us all of them. You speak.
Okay, so Lingala, French, English, and Swahili.
Sick.
Yeah.
Okay.
So my tribe
That's lit.
and all of that. Yeah. And what's the second one?
Biggest life lesson.
At the first sign of their behavior, leave.
God, that's a word. Because you will chop breakfast if you don't.
Yeah. And you'll be in therapy if you do. Yeah.
Voice is high, boy.
Literally. Oh, but bill them though.
I honestly feel like we need to get back to that part. Well, I think we need to not get back because we was never there, but I think that's where society needs to head. You call somebody trauma, I get to invoice you my therapy bill because you did this.
Yeah.
So you can take responsibility.
Yeah.
The same guys that are making 25k.
You have to budget.
See?
No, but this is what I'm
win.
saying about conversation, because depending on where you are with that person.
Yeah.
So I've done it. I don't advise anything that I haven't done. So that's the only
How did
advice
you go
I
about
give.
that?
I had a conversation with the person. I
And
had a
said-
conversation and, I made it clear that, I had a very decent childhood actually. And it was this incident that actually
changed.
Yeah.
things in it,
And so, I think it'd be responsible of you to actually.
Do you think potentially? What if he
That's
said?
lit.
What if he came
how
back?
many bills did the person pay? Is it a guy? Is it someone you dated?
I mean, they paid, so I'm just.
But how many sessions did they pay for? One.
No, the course of me being in therapy.
How many courses?
That was
how many
a while ago, though. Pardon?
Like, was that like over like 6 months, a year?
So it was about 13 sessions.
That's lit.
Yeah.
That's bloody amazing.
No, honestly, and do you know what? It's obviously it was good for me, but it's also freeing for them in a way that they don't know, because actually it's at least I can release myself from.
Yeah.
Do you see what I'm saying?
Do you know what? I agree with that, because you know what? Sometimes as well, because I'm very like mindful of this. I feel like sometimes, we have impact on people that we don't know we've had an impact on. And then you think you've just done nothing, and then you just gone on and lived your life, but then that person is now stuck at what it is that you've done or how you've treated them. And now they have to spend however long trying to get over this hurdle. Like, you've actually put a pause in on their life journey. So I feel like something like that, like being told this is da-da-da, well, if you hadn't thought about it, or how you treated me, or how whatever it was, that would actually cause you to reflect of how our actions actually have consequences, and maybe not on yourself, but on other people.
Yeah. I also took accountability, because I feel like before 25, because your brain fully develops at 25, you kind of don't really know much. After 25, you do. Yeah. So we can't, depending on what it is, we can't always blame. So I was honest in that conversation in, where I played a part. Because you didn't have to stay, you stayed. Or you didn't have to do X, Y, Z, you did. So it's also taking accountability, which maybe played, a part in actually being open to. So I had the conversation, and it was, okay, I'll think about it. And the next day was, I've sent you the money.
So interesting.
Love that.
I want to know what happened.
With...
He's here now.
He ain't grabbed the mic the whole time.
He's here.
It doesn't seem like a normal thing that a man would want to do, especially if it is that he's done something.
I never said it was.
She never said it was a man.
So what did you have on him that made him think,
so what did you have on him?
That might be the easiest way to basically get you off my back?
I didn't have anything on him, but what I did have is that we had a long time of knowing each other, and actually I don't feel like things always have to end in a bitter way. Okay. So being a person that is congruent, and I'm going to be honest with you about how I feel, and actually to preserve what we could have in decency, this is how I feel.
So are you still friends with him now?
I wouldn't say friends, cordial. Because I think, cordial. Cool. Cordial. Yeah, cordial.
I will run him over if I see him.
No, I wouldn't. Yeah, cordial. Yeah, for sure.
And I can kind of see how he might be like, if it is y'all had that particular quote-unquote friendship, he might feel better and not feel like a weight, because he loved you and he remembered all of the times you guys actually had that was good. This might be something that could free him also.
Exactly.
I understand that now.
Yeah. I think it's lit.
Yeah.
But I don't think it's going to be working with just everything.
The person has to be able to accept themselves.
If you're not getting text back, they definitely reply to your invoice.
Yeah. One of those guys that thinks that they're good guys.
Yeah.
You can't play them at their own game.
Like they never, they don't believe that they've done anything wrong.
Yeah. Yeah, it doesn't work for everyone. I feel like you still have to have a certain level of or the person has to be because there's not everybody's nice in this world.
You can't. It definitely cannot be with somebody that you are leaving because they're not a nice person. What kind of foolish? They would air you.
But this was also time after things as well. So that sounds very mature and healthy. Yeah. Oh. That should have been something no one knows about you, because that's very interesting. Yeah.
That's so interesting.
Now you know.
you know. Can you imagine? Invoice. I love that. But yeah, can you let people know where to find you, please? Also, just run over your book as well, where they can buy it and stuff.
Yeah, so you can find me on, socials will be Instagram and TikTok. So it's Laura Jayne, Jayneu. And book, you can get it on Amazon. It's currently, my website's changing. But for now, you can get it on Amazon.
I was going to ask you, just mention TikTok very quickly. What is your thoughts on the TikTok, or no, I wouldn't say TikTok, but social media therapists or psychologists? I think some of them get a hard time. You know, people are like, oh, the quote pages. But sometimes, if it's like a qualified psychologist, because I follow a few pages, and they're qualified psychologists, and I can see that they know what they're doing. But in the industry that, the psychologists group and, club, what is you guys' thoughts on social media psychology or social media therapy?
Yeah, I think because we've all been trained by people who come from like the baby boomer generation, they don't even think we should be on social media.
Okay.
But actually, I think we're doing our best to educate and provide tools for people who maybe feel like they can't afford therapy right now, or they're not in a space where they can be in therapy right now. It's helpful, but what I am a bit like is that I do see a lot of talks around mental health, etc., and sometimes I see a panel of nobody that's qualified on there, which I'm not saying that, you know, advocates can't do it, but I think it is important to have qualified people there
in the mix at least.
So I would encourage that, even if it's just 1 out of a 4 panel. But yeah, I think it's just about really educating people and doing what we need to do to support people as best as we can. It's a bit like a free offering.
Yeah, I was going to ask as well, very quick, sorry, but is psychology like, is it black and white in terms of the training you guys have? Because is there an instance where you can come across someone's page and you don't agree, or what they've said, you know it from your training and stuff to actually be harmful? And would you pull them up on that? So is it black and white where that's not really the case? If the person's qualified, not just, you know, but yeah, is it possible if someone's qualified for the information to not be black and white, and it's like they've, you know, input their own personal sprinkle in there, and then you see as this is not helpful, this could be harmful, and would you pull them up on it?
Yeah, so I guess, it's not black and white, and there's nuances, but I guess if you're doing something all the way wrong, then I guess definitely would be a conversation on, okay, that's actually harmful, but I don't think I've seen anyone do anything harmful. I think it's a lot about lived experiences. So then that's where it's actually, what can you say? Because there's different kind of therapists in terms of when you think about behavior. So for example, there's something that I and a lot of therapists will class ourselves as, which psychodynamic therapy talks about, is a wounded healer. So you talk from the experience of where you've come from. So there might be, I don't necessarily do it, but there might be self-disclosure. So as a therapist, you might self-disclose to a client because you feel like it's relevant for what the client is saying. And that can actually bring you closer, or it might not, because it might be like, what was that relevant? So I guess if somebody is saying something online, someone might be like, oh, well, isn't this against the code of ethics? But actually, it might not be. Yeah.
Love that. You've been an amazing guest. Thank you for joining us.
Thank you, Isaac. It's nice.
Coming as well.
Welcome.
All right, let's get into our last headlines for today. Oh no, we did This Is What You Do, isn't it? Yes, let's get into This Is What Would You Do. This is great actually, because I've got a sis here with me, and she's a therapist, so let's get a little input in there. So, hey Esther and Gina, hey Esther and Laura. Love the show. I'm unable to watch it live due to my shifts, but I catch up as soon as I can. I hope you can help me out with this dilemma. I've been dating my girlfriend Sarah for about a year now, and things have been pretty great. We're compatible in a lot of ways, and we really care about each other. However, there's one thing that's been causing a lot of tension between us. That's her friend Emily. Emily is a very outgoing and social person, and she's always been close with Sarah. However, lately it seems like she's been trying to insert herself into our relationship more and more. She's always hanging out with us, commenting on our relationship, and giving us unsolicited advice. It's starting to make me feel uncomfortable and like I'm not enough for Sarah. For example, the other night, we were having dinner at a restaurant with Emily. Is Emily there? And she started making comments about how Sarah should dress more provocatively. She also said that I should be more assertive and take charge more often. It was so embarrassing, and it made me feel like Sarah wasn't happy with me the way I am. I tried to talk to Sarah about this, but she always brushes it off and says that I'm overreacting. She says that Emily is just being friendly and that I should learn to just ignore her comments. But I can't help but feel like Emily is trying to sabotage our relationship. I'm at my wit's end. What should I do?
So she can jump in.
Who's jumping in?
The girl.
Emily. I guess, what is Sarah saying to Emily?
That's it. That's really it. All of this is Sarah. I feel like Sarah's saying a lot to Emily that Sarah feels that she can't express to you. And so Emily is Sarah's voice.
Yeah, try couples counselling.
Yeah.
Try couples counselling and explore with Sarah what conversations are being held with Emily.
Yeah. And I think speak to Sarah and let her know that her brushing things off doesn't get rid of the issue and it's something that's important to you, I don't know, like, she shouldn't be dismissive of how you're feeling. If there's something that matters to you and you guys are in a relationship, point out to her that she is being dismissive by just brushing this conversation off. But also, hopefully by that, she's more willing to have the conversation. And then let her know, stop chatting my business to your little friend who doesn't know how to read the room. It's like pillow talk. And then now you're out here telling the person that she didn't be telling about the business that you know. Mm-hmm. And also, don't do things with Emily. If you're going out with your girlfriend, Emily has no business being there. Respectfully.
That Emily girl knows everything about this guy.
Yeah.
Everything.
I was interested in the fact that they said that the relationship is really, really good. Yeah, Emily's has an opinion.
What's so good about that relationship?
Who is the relationship really, really good for you?
Boy.
How is the relationship? Sarah? Yeah. So
yeah, that's what I would. Yeah, I think that's good advice. Speaking to your girlfriend Sarah, and also investigating Emily's situation. Or do you know what I think as well? Because since Emily's always got something to say, I think just ask Emily straight up. Hi, ma'am.
So if she doesn't want to do couples therapy, what's next?
You still have to talk to Sarah. Talking to Sarah is the first place, and then thinking about what happens there.
Yeah.
Get up and
but I'm thinking if Sarah's dismissive about it again and brushes off again, I will go straight to Emily then. Since you always got something to say and you got your fucking
why
degree.
do you have to do all of that? Just go. I don't understand.
No, but that's the thing. That's why you're married. People like to do Hunger Games in these relationships.
No, but I don't understand. Why do you have to go through all of that?
It's because they love each other.
What love? Do you get what I mean? Like you're saying everything's going right.
Yeah.
But
really
that's yeah.
It's also funny though. People are like, "Oh, our relationship is perfect."
Yeah.
But
when there's a but, it's not. Yeah. When there's a but after the good, that it's not. Yeah. And you should go when you even think it's good.
Yeah. I honestly feel like Sarah's the problem. Respectfully, big up Sarah. She watches CDA too, but girl, you're acting mad. But I think if you try to talk to Sarah again and she's not understanding, like Laura said, okay, there's couples therapy, and she says couples counselling, sorry, and sis is not on that, and then Emily at the next dinner comes to tell you, oh, yeah, I heard you wanted to go to couples counselling. It's time to let everybody go. Emily and Sarah, let everybody go.
I'm saying, after that, there's nothing else to do.
Forward. Yeah.
Because she's not willing to drop out the friend for you.
No. Yeah. And that's wild.
Wow.
You're gonna go and marry her. That she'll be
that Emily's in the delivery room with you guys. You're about to have a kid.
She'll be in the house like the dad with that video.
Basically.
I'm cooking a drink for my man.
Basically, like my man. What do you mean? But yeah, man. Good luck with that, and hopefully it works out for you. Anyone who wants to send their dilemmas in for asking for a friend or sis, what would you do? The number is 075 64841073. And our email address is tdasubmissions@thenewblack.com. Don't forget, black is always spelled with an X. On this side of town, let's do our last headlines.
All right, so our last headline, I think this might be the last time we hear from him in a while. Boris Johnson. Mm-hmm.
I don't know. This is crazy.
But yeah, man, he insisted that accusations that he didn't care about the suffering that people endured as a result of the coronavirus are simply not right. At the COVID inquiry, the former Prime Minister spoke publicly for the first time about being hospitalized with the virus, insisting that it made him realize just how appalling it was. You know what I'm saying? He empathized with the people, man.
He nearly died, so I would hope so.
But while the ex-Prime Minister apologized on Thursday for the offence caused by the rule-breaking pandemic parties in Downing Street, he attacked the media and called its representations of the Partygate scandal a travesty of the truth. The way Number 10 gatherings were portrayed were described by Mr. Johnson as absolutely absurd, arguing what is supposed to have happened in Downing Street is a million miles from the reality of what actually happened in Number 10. More than 100 police fines were issued for rule-breaking parties held in and around the centre of government during the pandemic, and Mr. Johnson received one of them. Mr. Johnson's appearance before the inquiry was his second in 2 days as part of the probe's module on UK decision-making and political governance. It was emotional at stages for Mr. Johnson, who drew upon his own experience in intensive care with coronavirus for the first time to dispute claims that he didn't care. You guys buy any story?
No, man, I'm in giant shape, man. They all knew what they were doing with all of that COVID stuff, man.
Well, Next headline, investigators believe that an improvised explosive device was used to destroy ULEZ camera in southeast London in an explosion that left residents feeling scared and shaken. Police were called to Sidcup shortly after 6:45 in the evening following reports of a blast which damaged nearby homes and vehicles. While the incident is not being treated as terrorism, Counter-Terrorism Command, which includes those with specialist expertise in explosives, are leading the investigation. Christine Wright, who lives on the street, she was speaking to ITV, and she pretty much said how a bus just passed when the explosion went off and that the driver was given oxygen in a fire engine and all sorts of stuff was happening, man. She said the car travelling behind the bus and took some damage as well. And the last headline takes us to Kenya. Remember the other day we were talking about how Malawi is sending some of its workers to Israel to farm, to help farm, right? Well, Kenya is doing the same, man. The Labour Ministry has said that Kenya is sending 1,500 farm workers to Israel. The announcement comes nearly 2 weeks after Malawi sent 221 young people to work on Israeli farms, triggering a backlash against the government there. The casual workers will be deployed on 3-year renewable contracts with a guaranteed net monthly income of $1,500. Israel has turned to Africa to fill a severe labour gap on its farms after a mass exit of foreign workers. More than 10,000 migrant farm workers, mostly Thailand nationals, have left Israel since the start of the war with Hamas in early October. Israel has also barred Palestinian workers who made up nearly 20% of the agricultural labour force prior to the war. Israel's ambassador in Kenya, Michael Lowton, was speaking to the BBC and he said that Israel was planning to recruit farm workers from Uganda as well, while recruitment in Tanzania has already started. This is what he said. He said, we're looking to East Africa to fill the labour gap as we have had student internships programs in place for many years with these countries and it has been a good experience. He added that the labour shortage has been caused by the fact that an estimated 360,000 Israeli reservists have been called up for military service since the war began. And that's it for the headlines. Time to pay the bills.
That's right. Let's get into the reaction.
All right, people. Welcome to the reaction. There isn't much to really talk about, to be fair. There's only 2 games yesterday, but you watch any of the games?
Mm-hmm.
Isaac, you watch any of the games?
Yeah, watch both of them.
Okay. In the interest of equality, Laura, did you watch any of the games?
No.
All right, then.
Hey, why do you ask me?
I'm coming to you.
No.
Esther, did you watch any of the games?
No, unfortunately, I couldn't. I was so occupied doing
Was you
things.
really?
I really was. I was just, occupied, up and down, up and down.
You was in the 90s baby show.
It's like occupied.
Yeah. All right. So Everton beat Newcastle at home 3-0.
Yeah.
Tottenham lost at home to West Ham 2-1.
Tottenham lost at home.
Yeah, they did.
What did you guys think of the performances, man?
Tottenham is...
Yeah, they're taking the L this episode.
Yeah, they've got too many injuries, to be honest. So I don't know if they're going to be able to to make it that far, to be honest.
Everyone's speaking so highly about the new manager, man. Saying at home they don't lose games.
The thing is, he has a way of playing. But his way of playing doesn't like the players... The first 11 is the first 11 that can only do that. His bench is awful. That's why ever since all those players have been getting injured, he hasn't been able to keep up. He's lost 5 games in a row.
What? Serious?
Yeah.
They're not all in the Premiership, though, innit? Like some in Europe as well.
No, they're all in the Premiership.
Serious?
Yeah.
5? Wow.
5 in a row, and they always score first.
That's a shame. That's a shame. Everton as well, man. They've now come out of the relegation zone, innit? I think with that win against Newcastle.
I think they're still there, no?
They're still there?
Are they? I don't know.
Okay, I thought they just came out of it.
Well, they're probably like, from bottom or something like that.
Imagine though, this is the same team that got beat 3-0 is the same team that beat
United. I can't believe it, to be honest. United's another. They're another topic, man.
It's a damn shame.
Going through it bad.
It's a damn shame.
Bad.
Also, there's going to be a big fight on the weekend, man. Devin Haney versus Regis Prograis. It's going to be a big fight, man. You guys going to be watching it?
I'll be at a wedding.
Well, actually, I doubt your wedding's going to be at this time. It should be in the early hours in the morning.
Yeah,
so you'll be free.
Be free as a bird in my dream. Yep.
Well, Prograis actually lost 1 fight. Very close fight. to Just Taylor. That was back in 2019. Sick fight. Devin Haney's undefeated, but like 9 or 10 years younger. You know what I'm saying? So it's almost like, I don't know, it's just the passing on of the, you know what I mean, the mantle or whatever. But at the same time, Devin Haney is new to this particular weight division. He's only going up one weight class, to be fair, but he is new to it. Prograis has been here pretty much his entire career. So he's got the experience, he's got the natural size, got the power, you know what I'm saying? But I don't know, part of me feels like Devin Haney's not losing this. I feel like he's gonna win. He's got the confidence, man. There's something about him that he just feels like, I think he's gonna get the job done, man. Plus Regis Prograis' last fight was very mediocre, man, to be fair. He won the fight, but it was kind of mediocre, to be fair. But he's saying, listen, don't get that confused, man. I'm gonna be my normal self, and I'm gonna beat Haney. So I think it's gonna be a good fight, man. I think it's gonna be on the zone as well. Apparently it's gonna be bloody pay-per-view. I don't know why they're doing that if you're paying a bloody subscription anyway. But yeah, it is what it is. I'm looking forward to the fight though, man.
Brent, feeling confident, Arsenal?
Yeah, definitely. Going into the Aston Villa game?
Yeah.
100%.
What about the league in general?
Yeah, we're playing so-so, but yet we're at the top of the table. We have many gears to go. And I think we are going to get there, as in get to the gears.
I like to think that you're not one of those typical Arsenal fans.
I am not one of those typical Arsenal
fans. I appreciate that. Thank you.
Are you on United?
Yeah, I'm United. Okay. But we're down bad, so
all right.
We don't talk about United until we start winning.
Is it a green drink?
No, it's water. But yeah. I've been told off that I don't drink enough water. So.
Oh, is that like a keepy cup?
We got it basically as a gift from the wedding. We got it made for people.
Oh, sick.
And I just kept some myself because I paid for it.
So. I hear it, boy.
All right, so it carries Beverly's name on that.
And mine, please.
That's nice, man. Cool.
Big up, Beverly.
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
But yeah, I think we can wrap up the reaction there, man.
Oh, lovely. Let's get into our outro. All right, people. Thank you for joining us. We really appreciate it. Love to our lovely guest today, Laura. Check her out on the gram. Buy her book on Amazon. Thank you for coming. I hope you had a nice time with us.
Yeah, no, it was nice.
Love that.
Thank you.
Big up our researchers every single time. All of you guys in the comments, people that had questions as well. Big up you guys. Mm-hmm. The callers from today as well. Follow us on our social media platforms. Follow us on social media. That sounds weird. Anyway, follow us on social media. The Day After TNB on Instagram, Twitter, and on TikTok. And again, the number when we're live on air is 075-6484-1073. Also, if you'd like to inquire about the show or feature on the show, our email address is thedayafter@thenewblack.com. Have a great weekend, everybody. And we'll see you Monday.
Peace.